Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Wayne Blue. I'm joined by co-host Alex Wong. You're listening to the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway. It's going to be a big show today because we have a fresh round. Are you ready for Giannis Watch 2025? We got lots of Giannis rumors over the weekend. We got Alex Wong drinking orange juice like we're back at George Street Diner, predicting if Kawhi will come back with Kawhi Watch. We got Pascal Siakam winning Eastern Conference Finals MVP. We got some blame pies to hand out. Two of the last three blame pies on the season, with the Knicks and the Timberwolves being eliminated since the last time we talked. And of course, we also have Ennis Esmer, which we have to put into every show because he ain't no Purvis Ellis, man. He a Purvis Ennis, if you know what I'm saying. What up, Alex Wong?
Hey, everybody. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Just want to congratulate PSG really quickly on their 5-0 Champions League W. Mbappe, the dynasty starts after you, not with you. And Desiree Doué, 2 goals at age 19.
Don't forget the assist too, man. You got a great assist.
Oh my God, that little pass that he made, woo, right by the keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's better than Yasmin Grandel or whoever the other young teen star is. Yeah.
Why'd you turn him into a baseball player?
Yeah, I just want to congrats to Liverpool as well.
Yes, sir.
Big move by Arnie Slot there, getting Jeremy Frimpong.
Shout out to Jeremy.
Gonna bring great pace at left back, especially because the devil Trent Alexander-Arnold is off to Real Madrid.
Hey, but we sold
the
him for
dynasty starts after you, Trent.
Well, the dynasty was with Trent, and hopefully it continues after Trent. But
okay, yeah. So, is there no soccer now? Like, soccer season is kind of dying down, or?
Well, what's crazy is there is still going to be this year. They're introducing the Club World Cup.
Okay.
And so there's like 32 clubs from across the world. So I think like you have some of MLS's teams be playing.
Oh yeah,
some of the teams from
I saw
Europe.
one of the teams was protesting with T-shirts because they're not getting paid for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like a prize pool to be won at the end where you get to win $100 million.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wow. That's a lot of money, man.
That's all. I mean, soccer's different, bro. This ain't the NBA Cup with winning $1 million each.
This is what soccer needs, another tournament. I think soccer doesn't have enough tournaments. Sure. Yeah. Well, happy Pride Month to all my prideful people out there.
Let's go.
So shouts to that. Asian Heritage Month is over, so we're not going to talk about Chinese food today. We're putting that away. So
there's just too much to talk about today. But
so let's get to it.
We won't talk about Chinese.
Let's get to it. What are we starting with?
We are starting with Giannis Watch 2025. We have fresh rumors from this weekend that has got everybody excited. Let's first start with the one that's most local, most direct here in Toronto. Fellow reporter Doug Smith, longtime Raptors reporter Doug Smith, the longtime reporter Doug Smith, says in his latest mailbag, I don't know if it will happen, but I do know there is mutual interest between Antetokounmpo and the Raptors. The wild card is the cost. But I do also think that the Raptors are uniquely placed to make an attractive offer that won't ruin their franchise or roster. He sort of lists out sort of the rest of it, but that's the big news. Shouts to Doug first off because he just like slid this into a mailbag.
Well, some of us read his mailbags religiously, so.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah, this was easily picked up over here, so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been subscribed to Toronto Stars since Evie Kwan was there, so.
That's not that long ago.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah. Mutual interests. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lee Ben Osmond doing great work. Got to listen to his Canada Under 18 podcast after for sure. That's fired up. Yeah. Right after right after I listened to 3 Bill Simmons pods, the Hoop Collective, Pablo Torre finds out. I'll get to that, Lee Ben. So, yeah, mutual interests. I think when we had our big Giannis pod as well, we had read the Chinese tea leaves about the kind of the connection between Masai and Giannis and the Raptors, kind of low key kind of lurking like a stalker, for years.
Man. He has been stalking him forever.
Yeah, waiting in the cut, to make their move.
Masai's Gollum when it comes to Giannis's ring, man.
No, that's Sam Cassell, bro.
Yeah, actually is.
No, but so I think we know this, and it is good to hear that reignited. I think it makes sense. Like you think about places that Giannis is looking at. If you believe that he might try to stay east, we've talked about the assets that the Raptors can bring to the table. So I'm not surprised. There's mutual interest. I think there's always been just a personal connection there between Masai and Giannis.
I was gonna ask, like, what do you think is the basis of that mutual interest? Is it simply just because of the Masai connection, which we can't discount? That's been spoken about on record by Giannis publicly in the past.
I think so, and I think Giannis saw up close, like he went up against that 2019 Raptors team, like when he was chasing his first championship, and I think he's very familiar with like what the Raptors and what Masai and Bobby have done here, right?
Okay.
Like maybe don't look at the last 5 years, but like he's seen what's been done here. I think he's familiar with the city and stuff like that. So
he knows what it's like when the city is like very
like he's seen it all, right? So and I do think most of it draws back to the personal connection there, and I think it draws back to of Giannis looking for his best like basketball destination. Like I can see him talking himself into Toronto. Like there's other obvious places, we've talked about this, but like I think he can talk himself into this place.
Yeah. Man,
am I too positive? Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the question everyone's asking themselves, right? Because we have done Giannis Watch multiple times. Like this is at least the third iteration of Giannis Watch. We know the Raptors were very seriously considering trying. They positioned everything to get into Giannis's free agency in 2021. That never happened because he signed an extension. But when it looked like Giannis was going to hit free agency, the Raptors moved heaven and earth to like make that thing possible. They restructured Fred VanVleet's contract to dip in year 2. So that they can create a little bit extra cap room. I know Bobby was giggling to himself as he made that one up.
What do you think his giggle sounds like? Yeah.
We have a Bobby Webster event in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
let's find out then, man.
Yeah, sold out for now. We're working on more.
We actually sold out within like I think.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
2 hours
for signing up for free. Yeah, congrats on coming for free.
It's still a sellout if it's free, man. It's all good. We have, I mean, that's part of the reason why they let Serge Ibaka and Marcus All walk. Like they were trying their very best to make this thing happen. Of course, Giannis, I think, made the right decision because he stayed in Milwaukee. He was able to keep everything intact. And yeah, I mean, like I think the history here is like you can even search just the words Masai and Giannis. Or Giannis in Toronto or Giannis in the Raptors into like Twitter, and you will actually find like dozens of tweets by me and you from back in the day. Like this is like an established thing. If we just throw that tweet back up, because I think this is a pretty incredible one. Alex, read out your tweet, please, from back in the day.
Yeah, this was December 15th, 2020. I think this was the day that Giannis signed his first extension with the Bucks, and I said I respect Giannis's decision to not come to Toronto until construction at Union Station is done in 2025. And yeah, listen, man, I was tweeting about 100 times a day. Back in the day, engagement was really popping there. You just had to throw Giannis's or Kawhi's name in there. But hopefully the prophecy comes true, man. This would be, I think this would cement Wongstradamus' legacy.
Yeah.
And I just remembered that if Giannis does come here, and I guess interest is picking up, I'm gonna have to walk to Niagara Falls.
Oh,
so yeah, I'll get my calves, I'll get my legs ready for that. So I'll be ready.
Is there a Terry Fox like reference for remix for your name?
Yeah, I guess like the Marathon of Dope, because it's really dope that Giannis will come here.
All right. Okay. We might have to move on. That was not good.
Bobby's giggle.
Yeah, I mean, look, okay. So we had that. That was the report from Doug Smith. I mean, quite frankly, like I know you had said on this show previously, I think like a week and a half ago now, that like, Giannis had previously had interest in coming to Toronto. Like, like whatever level of interest, obviously like that didn't materialize in an actual move here. But I think what Doug is saying is like there is that interest right now, which is certainly very exciting. Again, shouts to Doug for just sliding this into a column because most other reporters would just built a whole piece around this, tweeted out, blasted out everything. Doug's like, nah, man, you got to read Ye Old Mailbag for these gems. I'm not even kidding. That's what it's called. Shouts to Doug.
No, shouts to Reddit for always snooping in and making sure everything is picked apart, you know?
Bro, Reddit's like, I will be reading
It's like seeing a dead animal. They're going to pick off everything on the carcass.
Oh, for sure.
No bones left, nothing.
Yeah, man. They've taken everything. And I think the part of the reason the fan base found it so quickly is like they were kind of primed to look out for this anyway, because your favorite podcast, the Hoop Collective, had also shifted away from Eastern Conference Finals discussions briefly to mention the Toronto Raptors. And we have this clip here where Brian Windhorst discusses the very public idea that the Toronto Raptors are out there big game hunting this summer.
I don't want to get too far afield from this, but since this has come up, the Raptors are a team that is starting to make noise within the league about looking for a big fish. And, you know, and I think because, and I don't want to get away from this, but I've started it myself. If you're an Eastern Conference team that's in the middle of the pack, you're looking at the teams in front of you going, some of them may not be able to come together, may be able to stay together. Boston is hurt. And so there are some teams that sniff the ability to make a move. And I think Toronto is one of those teams. And so naturally, any team that wants to make a move this summer, especially a team in the Eastern Conference, you're going to have Giannis on the board. But Toronto, I think, is going to try, from their initial conversations, teams in the league are getting the impression that Toronto is going to try to do something.
Oh, man.
Yo, we the sniff, baby.
Oh, yeah. My goodness, man.
We the sniff. Sniffler's in the building.
I feel that feeling of what happens after sniffing. But, yeah, so what do you make of this idea? I mean, I think there's clearly multiple reports out there that the Raptors are looking to make a big move. And we know what the big move is. Giannis is that big move.
You know, all respect to the reporter that we brought up last week when we were talking about the RJ Barrett trade rumors. I believe it was Chris Cole. Yeah.
Chris Davis, man.
Yeah,
That's
Chris
a different
Davis.
baseball player, man.
Yeah, Chris Davis. But like Brian Windhorst, of course. Like this is like legitimate. You know, Doug Smith too, legitimate. Like we know from Wendy's famous meme, like this was when I think the Jazz traded Royce O'Neal, like Donovan Mitchell's best friend, and he was like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? And then a couple weeks later, or a couple days later, the Donovan Mitchell trade happened, and we know Brian Windhorst is tapped in. We know that he will source his information pretty heavily before he brings anything to the table. And this is not saying that Giannis is coming here, but like I think, you know, Masai's made a clear indication. I think based on these conversations and adding to the fact that Shams last week said it's going to be the most explosive offseason, you know, I think, you know, all signs point to the Raptors trying to, you know, really accelerate this like win now thing, and really just pivoting from the rebuild that they were talking so much about at the start of the season. So yeah, no, I think, I mean, what that fish is gonna be, you know, when you throw your, you know, I've only gone fishing once in my life, but you know, when you throw that, what do you call it? When you throw that thing out there,
you cast a reel.
yeah. Like you don't know what kind of fish you're gonna get. You know, you might get a little, you know, cute little Domantas Sabonis.
Yo, no, I'm throwing that back in the lake.
You know, you might pull up like a DeMar DeRozan. You know,
come on, man.
So you know, there's a lot of fish. There's a lot of fish in the water. So I don't know what we're reeling in is the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look, I think, man, look, the Raptors are not new to this kind of game, right? The Raptors have tried. We know that they swung on Dame. When Dame was available that summer, it was like, is Dame going to go to Miami? And then Milwaukee jumped in. But then Toronto was like, hey, by the way, we want to be involved. And it's like, what? You know what I mean? They had conversations about KD. The conversations were had. That's back in 2022. So, like, I think, especially in this case, where if you look at the Raptors, I could totally see themselves talking them into the idea that this is a rare opportunity. The East is weaker than it's ever going to be, really, next season. Like, you look at, you know, the Bucks look like they're going to be tearing it down. Even if they don't, that's not a good team. Looks like Brook Lopez is moving on. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's closing time over there. Semisonic is playing in the background, man. You know what I mean? It's like the Friends finale. They're about to leave their keys on the table. Spoiler. But, like...
What, they moved out of the apartment?
Yeah, at the end. Yeah, they leave the apartment, man. No, they moved to the suburbs, bro.
It wasn't rent controlled?
No, it was, but again, they moved to the suburbs.
Where in New York did they live? Did they specify like the neighborhood? Like, were they like on the Upper West Side or something? Or was it like fictional kind of?
I actually don't know.
Okay, so they never talked about like the neighborhood. Yeah.
No, they never. They only went to Central Perk. That's it.
Oh yeah. All right.
We know they're in Manhattan. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Closing time in Milwaukee. Yeah.
Closing times in Milwaukee. Yeah. We have Boston is down for at least a year with Tatum. Being out for the year with the Achilles and
possible trades to thin out their roster.
They might be breaking that thing apart. Mm-hmm. Past that, who are you really afraid of? The Knicks we just saw. We'll get to the Knicks a little bit later. The Pacers, which all due respect, they've been great, but I think that with a couple of moves, you can at least talk yourself into being in a situation where, I mean, again, you have Halliburton, you have Pascal, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Who's the best player in that situation?
Yeah,
it's Giannis. Now the key is now you need to have better depth, or at least comparable depth, to be in competition. But like that opportunity's there. Detroit's still very young, and after that, like Orlando, you know what I mean? Like Miami's out.
Put Cleveland in there too. Like they had a great regular season.
The most forgettable 64-win team ever.
Listen, this is how people used to talk about the Raptors. So I'm gonna give them some grace. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm not giving them no grace. I mean that team is what it is. Again, we would have the best player in this series. So like I could totally see themselves talking into this opportunity. And again, putting that aside, man, this is a decade-long pursuit for Masai.
Yeah, I think you setting aside what you think about Masai's future here in Toronto, but like you think about his legacy here. Of course, the Kawhi trade, the championship. Like, I think this would be his encore. This would be his victory lap.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving.
No, you can't be back.
No, but it's
the
like
year of them 16s.
I think he's been chasing this forever, like you mentioned.
Yes.
And he's been chasing kind of putting together that championship model for a long time. It's just funny to me the 180 that they've done from like the rebuilding talk. All that is out the window,
Remember, yeah, last year before the start of the season, they were like, the opening press conference, they're like, guys, we're going to rebuild, okay? We have to accept that this is a rebuild. And we're all like, what was the first time he said the word rebuild? Even privately, he used to like come into the media room sometimes and just like talk to the reporters. And Masai would just be like, guys, you guys wanted a rebuild. This is what a rebuild is going to look like. I hope you guys are ready for a rebuild. You know what I mean? So to go from that to like, yeah, just kidding. We're going to see this opportunity. But again, like, I think it's fine because there is an opening. And again, it depending on sort of what type of trade you're going to make. And again, like, just putting all that aside, if we're going back to the fundamental idea that if Giannis actually wants to come to Toronto, which in this day and age, that's really what dictates player movement, because there is no free agency. Everybody just re-signs with their team. That gets them the most amount of money and security. And then afterwards, they're like, hey, by the way, we want to go. And then it's like, okay, fine. At least the team will get something in return. If that's the case, and Giannis truly has some level of interest, I'm not saying he's saying Toronto or nothing. That'd be the first time anyone's ever said that. You have to continue to explore the idea. But again, like this is a decade-long pursuit. I think the question is like, how much would it take, obviously, to get Giannis in the door? Would that include Scottie as the main piece going back? Because I truly do see a lot of redundancy if you're having both of those players. I would ideally like to have both of those players and work through the redundancy, but I could definitely see there being redundancy in that. I think there have to be subsequent moves because the Raptors are not back in the day where you just add Kawhi and you're mostly there. And then, of course, you add one more piece with Mark midway through the season. I think you probably need to make one or two more subsequent moves. You would need to have enough picks left over to sort of make those. You have to have some real confidence in some of your young guys to be able to take a quick leap, because that's the 2019 story is like, okay, they traded for Kawhi, but they knew they had a great supporting cast around. They knew they had a great point guard in Kyle Lowry. They knew they had, some pretty good bigs already in Serge and JV. They obviously upgraded JV into Mark. But they also, more than anything else, they had confidence that their young guys were about to break through. Like Fred was on the cusp of being a contributor. Norm was already shown to be a contributor. Pascal was on the cusp of becoming a starter. Coming into that year, we were debating who's going to be the starter at power forward. Was it going to be Pascal? Was it going to be Serge? Who was it going to be? Pascal took that thing and ran with it until the point where he got, most improved player at the end of the season in a championship and was the second leading scorer on the title team. So, like, they had that infrastructure in place. Do the Raptors actually have that infrastructure in place right now? I don't know. I don't think so. But I also think that the conference isn't as strong as it was even back in 2019. I don't see those Sixers team with Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid healthy and Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris and, JJ Redick flying off dribble handoffs. I don't see, the Bucks aren't even the Bucks anymore, So like circumstances are different, but I could totally see why like this is even being discussed. And if you think about what are your outs more than anything else, like if you're playing poker, you got to go in your hand, you got to think about, okay, what's the best possible hand I can build here, and is that better than other people's best possible hands? What are the Raptors' outs? We stay in this situation, we have the holding pattern, we continue to pay and retain our talent, and eventually guys start to either flourish and they start to win as a group, or they get expensive and they still don't win, and you see some frustration. This is a credible out. You're getting Giannis, if you can get Giannis. Again, this is all huge ifs. You're getting a guy who's, 30? With 2 years left on his contract, plus a player option. I think that if you were to make a move like this, I think the other part is everyone thinks about, okay, how much you got to give to acquire this guy. But if you're telling me free agency is dead and players aren't walking away, then I'm asking, okay, if Giannis comes in, we got to work collaboratively. We sign it to extension. We give it a 2-year window. If it doesn't work out, we move on from Giannis. What can you get back in a recoup for Giannis in 2 years from now? So you're not paying 100% of the price. If he moves on, you can recoup at least 80% of that value.
Yeah,
at least.
I think too, like once it's like you said, it's not like a perfect fit like Kawhi was, but that was really like a dream scenario for the Raptors, right? To be able to swap out one of their top guys who was not performing in the playoffs and having that roster around. You're not going to get that this time around, but very few teams ever land themselves in the same scenario as Kawhi. So I think it's almost not fair to compare it to that. Because like with any superstar trade, we've seen like when other teams bring in stars, like it takes a while for them to have to like just build the rosters up. Like you even look at the Lakers, like them just getting Luka Doncic, and they still have to figure out what their roster is around him, right? So I don't even think that's a huge concern. If anything, I'm like, man, how aggressive is Masai gonna get? Like assuming, if they do land Giannis, like are there assets, like you said, that's still out there where you can like just really remake the team, because once you go down this road of trying to win now, of getting Giannis, I feel like everything is on the table, right?
Oh yeah, it changes your timeline entirely.
We might never see Brandon Ingram in a Raptors uniform.
Ideally he's your Chris Middleton kind of type.
Traded him for 4 months visit to the practice facility.
Oh, come on, man. Shouts to Brandon Ingram in his SpongeBob hat. Brandon, I hope you're okay. Hope you're flexing your ankle like me every day, trying to get that thing healthy.
Oh man.
Yeah, we've talked in previous episodes about sort of how much it would take to sort of get something like this done. I think the steps that it will require would be you would need Giannis first off to actually request a trade.
Yeah, so the reporting so far, Shams has reported he hasn't had his like big meeting with the Bucks to actually formally discuss requesting a trade.
By the way, what is he waiting for? He was eliminated a month ago.
I don't know. He's probably vacationing with Costas and Alex and Thanasis. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably just taking some. I guess there's a huge decision for him, and I think the other thing we've always heard is Giannis is a super loyal guy, right? Like he's had chances to leave Milwaukee a few times here, even though from the outside it looks super obvious. Like, just demand the trade, get out of here. I'm sure this is not easy for him. I'm sure he has to have discussions with his family, like his wife, like all of this stuff. Like this is a huge move, right? So
this is absolutely a huge move.
I'm sure it's not as easy. I'm sure it's not as easy as Giannis. Just the day after, the ball went through Gary Trent's legs and they're eliminated. He's like, yeah, I'm out. Like this is actually, I'm sure, a tough personal decision for Giannis. So,
oh man, it's a classic, Jerome. What are you trying to do? Man?
What is this doing? Am I supposed to know
make
this?
Me cry? What do you mean? This is closing time, man.
Oh,
this is what they're hearing in Milwaukee right now. This is what they're hearing in Deer Park, man. Woo. Oh man, they're having cheese and sausage, and they're.
What do you think a deer sounds like? Yeah.
Well, we about to find out what a deer sounds like, man. I don't think he says "nya," eh? Look, I think that's what a Toronto deer sounds like. That's not a deer.
Yeah. So Giannis got to request a trade. Raptors. When are the Raptors eligible to sign Thanasis?
Oh man, for whenever.
No, we gotta send out that first shot. Like this is a warning shot if we sign Thanasis.
Oh, we're gonna sign Thanasis first before we trade for Giannis.
Yeah, no, this is the type. This is like the sign Landry Fields before you do the PowerPoint presentation with Steve Nash.
Oh, that's that's kind of fire too, man.
No, like we gotta sign Thanasis. We got the Bay, we got the mid-level. Let's go.
Yo, Nation Network, let's sign Thanasis right now, man. Let's add him to the pod.
But this is okay. So sign Thanasis. Giannis requests a trade.
He has to request obviously to Toronto specifically.
This is the thing. Once Giannis requests a trade, then we're gonna start hearing the offers come in, right? And I think that's when it might dash a little bit of Toronto's hopes once you hear what other teams are coming in.
Well, how much longer are you going to wait? The draft is probably when this thing's going to happen.
Right. So draft is June 25th.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess there's like
Giannis
3 weeks here.
Still hasn't had his meeting with the Bucks?
Well, he hasn't.
Like he's leaving, man.
Because you know, Giannis is gonna text Dame, and Dame is gonna text Chris Haynes, and we're gonna hear about it in like 3 minutes after the meeting.
Chris Haynes is definitely gonna be the one to break this, man.
Yeah.
All due respect to everyone else involved. But
yeah.
Chris Haynes is too like.
Hope that Atlanta break-in has been resolved, Chris.
Chris Haynes is like I'm pretty sure his cousin is Giannis's wife.
What? Her family?
I'm pretty sure they're family. Hold on.
Yo,
I'll look it up because that's a pretty big claim.
Have we ever told the Chris Haynes Uber XL story on air? I guess we can save that one.
Oh, come on, dude. Come on, man. Come on. Man.
I love when you beg for your career on
Come
air.
on,
Come on, dude.
Come on, no.
Yo, we have so many stories about reporters and coaches and taxis. We could do a whole taxi report episode.
Yo. Honestly, you know what? If we ever got out the media game for real, we just talked about everything we actually heard or knew over the years.
Oh my
That'd be pretty good. How people retired, write a book, like how Phil Jackson's just like, yeah, man, fuck Kobe, man. And then he came back, which is crazy. But
Chris Haynes' family or what?
Chris Haynes is he's cousins with Mariah.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. Once the offers come in, I think right now it feels good to know that Giannis has mutual interests.
Mm-hmm.
Feels good to talk about the hypotheticals, but
yeah,
still feels like a long shot, like a Payton Pritchard half court shot. It could go in. Yeah,
I mean
that's the type of long shot I'm feeling right now.
Again, it's about the outs, right? Like, what are you gonna build? Like the Raptors' hand at the current moment projects to be a 2-pair. Do you really want to be a showdown and you got 2-pair, right? Or do you want to be a showdown and you have 4 of a kind or some shit like?
Depends if
4 Antetokounmpos in your hand.
Depends if it's Ennis across the table. Yeah.
Well, come on, man. Yeah. You know he got a flush that didn't hit. Shouts to Ennis. Please let me come back to the poker game. Part of the history here too. I mean, I think everyone's seen it by now, but I think it'll be kind of fun, especially in this moment, to actually look at the most definitive proof of the Raptors thirsting for Giannis. This is way back in 2013. The Raptors, this is their first ever draft room involving Masai Ujiri at the head of the helm. And this was obviously shown years after the fact by Open Gym. I think this is prior to 2011, which does kind of suspiciously suggest that this was also linked. This is another piece of the Giannis propaganda back in the day. But if we show this Open Gym footage, because it's almost eerie, basically, looking back at this thing.
The kid we want to pick, we feel like we don't think there are many kids in 2015 that would be at his level after 2 years.
The footage is making me nervous, man. The handy cam, the color grading.
There's 2 deals on the board. One of ours is one of them. He said he looks like he's going the other way. Is our deal contingent of the player being on the board, being there? And I said yes.
That says Nazi Muhammad and Vladimir Radmanovic.
Goodness.
Hello? Yes. You're staying at 12? Okay, no problem. Thank you. Bye-bye. No deal.
Giannis.
I bet they pick Giannis.
They're gonna pick Giannis.
You think?
Just told me. That was a start.
It might be Adams though.
Or a limit.
It was Adams, by the way. That's OKC at 12.
No. Hi, guys.
A little Bobby giggle.
Good, bud. How you doing, man?
Bobby Webster.
Hi, Bobby.
Yo, he's introducing himself for the first time. That's Larry Tannenbaum
he says
walking in, and also Tim Leiweke walking in.
He's still on his BlackBerry? Yeah.
2015,
Oh, yeah.
1 through 4, then 1 through 8, then 1 through 5, 1 through 3, then 13, just protected for 1, so just top 1. But you can't protect in the 7th year.
This is a great illustration of Bobby and Masai's working relationship.
That's me explaining the
Phil
P&L
Call,
team.
Minnesota. What can we do for
Actually,
14, though?
that's the
Same
explanation
thing?
people would want.
Damn, Bobby looks so young, man.
Way younger than Rob Pelinka.
Yeah, so this was for the pod listeners, like a open gym footage, right?
Yeah,
From
everyone's
the
seen
trade
this, and if you
room.
haven't, you need to see this immediately.
Yeah, who filmed that, man? M. Night Shyamalan? Yeah.
No, but seriously, why was the color
Plot
gradient
twist.
so dark? And
We
everything?
get Bruno Caboclo the following year.
Yeah, 2013 draft. By the way, that's one of the funniest, I guess, like sliding doors moments for the Raptors franchise, because
yes,
the Raptors would have had that pick. I think it was the 12th pick that they spoke about with OKC, but they had traded for Kyle Lowry from Houston. This is Brian Colangelo back in 2012, and then of course Houston flipped those assets, including that pick, to OKC to get James Harden. So that's why OKC had 12. OKC had a chance to draft Giannis, who went 15th, but they took Steven Adams, which honestly, all things considered, Steven Adams is also a pretty good player. But seeing the Raptors try to get back the pick that they originally used on Kyle Lowry, which could have been used, and we, based on this thing, we know would have been used on Giannis, is just like a crazy what if. Like, if the Raptors never got Kyle, but they drafted Giannis back in the day.
Yeah, that would
how
have been
different
crazy.
would this
Well, the doors would really be sliding, because then I feel like the Kawhi thing probably doesn't happen. You're on a whole different thing. We probably end up with like Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, basically the Toronto Bucks.
I mean, you know,
And then we hire Mike Budenholzer instead of Nick Nurse.
Oh,
we would have been the Toronto Bucks, man.
you know what? I guess it's not terrible, considering the Bucks did have a lot of regular season success and won championship, just like the Raptors did.
Yeah, but listen, man, this is what the Toronto fan base does. We love the superstar chase, like, you know, tracking Kawhi, tracking Shohei Ohtani, you know, tracking this. Like, this is just part of the fandom in Toronto, man, trying to lure stars here. So. Yeah. I think everybody should just strap in and really enjoy this this experience, because I guess it's gonna last at least a couple weeks here to July.
This is the thing: if you don't enjoy this, you know how back in the day they were like, if you don't like this, you don't like Clippers basketball or whatever. You don't like NBA basketball. If you don't like this, if you don't like Giannis watch, you don't like Raptors basketball. Okay, this is part of our heritage. For the last 10 years, we've been looking at this, man. 10 years.
Yeah, this is part of the experience, man. So
Kawhi had a shopper's bag back in the day.
What can Giannis possibly? What
that
kind
was
of
Kawhi watch?
What Toronto like memorabilia can Giannis possibly show up with to get people excited? Like, what would it have to be, man?
Man.
Yeah,
it's like, yo, Giannis is holding an Osmos bag.
Yo, you know how the Knicks, like, you know how my mayor Eric Adams put up all those street signs for all the Knicks players during the conference finals. I think we again should just send out a warning shot here, and you know, on Pape, is it Pape? Pap?
Yeah, Pape.
Yeah, on Pape, we should call that Thanasis Lane right now.
Oh,
we should go to Greektown and just fire those up.
Yeah, rename the whole Danforth, man. It's not Taste of the Danforth. It's
Costas Circle. Alex Antetokounmpo Crescent. But not for Giannis, just for the brothers. Just really appeal to the family.
Yo, you know we'll do anything here, man. Well, last time we were this thirsty.
Masai's about to turn into Vin Diesel, man.
We had Kawhi.
He's gonna be like, yo, we family here, man.
Yeah, we are family here, man.
What's up, Jerome?
Just because
we're talking R-Truth, or okay.
Oh gosh, no, just because of the New York connections with Giannis watch, I like the idea of him throwing off Americans by having an empty pizza box from north of Brooklyn.
Oh. I wish I had an empty pizza box.
Yo, that would be such a stunt too at Brooklyn.
From north of Brooklyn on my kitchen island right now. If Will would help out,
By the way, speaking
I actually
of,
had some last night with some garlic knots. Excellent.
Oh,
A Verde,
God.
yeah.
This is piling on, man.
Yeah.
man. You know what? Yeah, let's go back, man. Let's go back to.
I want to get free north of Brooklyn without you. Yeah. The
The
dynasty at north of Brooklyn starts after you, bro.
Oh. Yeah, that's such a great line, man. Draymond did it again. No, but by the way, I was thinking about Brooklyn and like, you know, because they're also all in on Giannis.
Yo, what you
and,
thinking about Brooklyn?
Because I thought about it. It's
Biggie.
Like Brooklyn's biggest case is that they have so much cap room, right?
Brooklyn has no case.
Well, they have
Brooklyn
no players.
not bringing a case. They have no briefcase. They have nothing. Yeah.
Here's the thing: they have no players, but they do have a lot of cap room. Like they
cap room is like it doesn't matter. Like no, like what's Giannis gonna do? Go there and wait 2 years?
No, here's the thing: they trade for Giannis,
Yeah, and Dame. Yeah.
and then they give a max contract to Thanasis, and you're effectively paying Giannis 2 max contracts. CBA loophole.
I'm surprised they haven't exploited that, to be honest.
I'm just saying, like there is a way to pay Giannis more than the max.
This is
and
like when
it's
the
through
Suns.
Thanasis.
This is like when the Suns gave Markieff and Marcus Morris. Like here's a number we're giving both of you.
Yes.
You split it up, and Markieff is like, "Yo, I'm a better player, Marcus. Like I'll take 36. You take 21." No?
How did that even work in the CBA, man? They're like, just kidding. We actually paid
Yo, they
ourselves
legit
differently
brought
this
out like a blame pie and had to assign it. Yeah, no, I don't want to hear no Brooklyn. If Brooklyn gets Giannis, I will walk to Brooklyn. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so we'll be on this. We'll be
on this.
first in for everything.
I'm excited to have this conversation 7 times with you. Just let me know how the YouTube views are and stuff.
I think we've already done this 3 different times. So
yeah, so I'm ready. I'm ready to regurgitate this conversation.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Goodness, man.
yeah, what do you think though? What's your
I'd probably.
what's
put this
your
at, like,
Greek freak excitement level, man?
Oh, excitement
How
level
freaky?
is-
Yeah, how freaky are you feeling from 1 to 10?
No, I'm always feeling freaky.
What?
But in terms of like how much I actually think this is gonna happen, I'm probably giving this like a 10%, maybe 15.
Okay. I feel like this is how Kawhi Watch started.
Oh yeah, we used to have a Kawhi meter. God
It ended up at 99%.
No, you ended up at 90. I ended up at 80. Okay.
Yeah,
You are at
but I'm pretty sure
99.8.
it started at 10% as well. So, all right, we'll just run the same script again, man.
Yo,
All
10%.
good.
But if
All
I
good.
by the way, this is the best advertisement ever for Ye Old Mailbag, man. I'm gonna be reading Ye Old
Yo.
Mailbag, man.
Y'all gotta subscribe to the Toronto Star, man. Come on now.
Oh man, they got a great deal right now, man. $1 for 6 months right now.
Every publication's $1, man. Democracy dies in darkness, my brother.
Oh, the democracy is dead, brother. I don't know. I regret to inform you. I don't know if you've seen what's happened in the States recently, but
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Happy Indigenous Peoples Month as well. That was mentioned in the chat.
this is correct. Thank you.
All right, what's next, man? Back to basketball.
Yeah, back to reality, guys.
Speaking of guys that the Raptors, traded away, Pascal.
Speaking
Siakam,
of family,
congratulations on winning Eastern Conference MVP. The Pacers, took care of business in Game 6, and it was a really interesting stat I saw. I don't know if I heard this correctly on the broadcast, but they were saying that the last time a team on the road had come back in Game 6 while trailing at halftime was the Klay Thompson game in OKC. I might need to fact check that, but it just, to me, it's like that Game 6 when you're going on the road and you're down 3-2 does sound like a hurdle that a lot of road teams just don't get past. Like like I'm trying to think back, like since Klay Thompson, and the Knicks obviously couldn't pass that test. I thought they played really sloppy for what was a season-ending game.
Yep.
Like they were just letting the Pacers just run out, get easy baskets.
Yo,
like,
I didn't know Thomas Bryant was Kyle Korver from the corner, man.
Yeah, super happy for Thomas Bryant. And yeah, just I think the Knicks had this really fun run. I think you guys swept up in the whole New York thing with the celebrity, with the fans outside, and all
Timothée
this stuff.
Chalamet at every game.
Yeah, bringing Kylie Jenner, who was 2-0 at Knicks games until Game 6. But like I think we ended up back where we were with the Knicks, like when we first started talking about them at the start of the playoffs, and it's like, do the pieces fit? What do they need to add to it? And ultimately, it seemed like if we're giving Indiana the props of having ascended to being one of the top teams, it's like the Knicks again are one step below the top teams, which was what they were coming into the playoffs. And if anything, like I'm gonna zag and say like the Knicks overachieved. I think the Knicks overachieved this season by getting within 2 games of the finals. Like you look at the way that I just never thought the pieces really fit together. And anyways, let's pull up the blame pie and then we can talk
Knicks
about the series with the blame pie.
Let's go.
So
I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah. So Knicks blame pie. So
what do we got?
Do you have any? I have some ingredients here.
Let's go with Tom Thibodeau.
Yep, Tom Thibodeau.
French name. Now I'm thinking about it actually.
Yeah, Cat.
Yeah, Karl-Anthony Towns for sure.
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson. Josh Hart as well.
Okay, Josh Hart. Are we putting OG Anunoby here?
For what, man?
Okay, Mikal Bridges. Didn't know we were doing sponsored meeting.
No, but what did OG do wrong in this series?
For $40 million.
You know what? Fine, put OG on here. I don't care. Man.
For $40 million. Mikal Bridges, Masai Ujiri / Bobby Webster.
Really? Hey? Okay.
Vivek Ranadiaev.
Okay. I'm curious to see what your case is here.
Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah.
/ Kylie Jenner. Michael Imperioli.
Oh yeah. He got it. Christopher
and Thomas Bryant.
Okay.
All right. So you need to read these back to me.
Okay, we got Tom Thibodeau. We have Karl-Anthony Towns. We got
just one at a time, fine.
Brunson. Okay.
Tom Thibodeau did not start figuring out his bench until they were down 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. In his defense, the answers were DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet, so there really wasn't a bench there.
Yeah, he didn't have the answer. Allen Iverson wasn't over there, bro.
But this was the big thing all season, right? Mikal Bridges called him out on it as well, saying that the starters had played too many minutes. And I think this just speaks to. I think this became a referendum on whether Tibbs should be the coach of the Knicks going forward. What do you think about that?
Look, I actually don't think Tibbs is going to get fired because it looks like the reports are already out that he has the backing of both the GM and also Jalen Brunson.
The report at The Athletic did say that James Dolan ultimately makes the decision.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. But, like, James Dolan's not going to be looking at that Tibbs and be like, hey, you got me to the conference finals. I'm going to fire you now. Like, that, come on. The expectation from the Knicks coming into the years was not winning the championship. I think the bigger thing for Tibbs was he had to figure out his starting lineup. Not the bench, because it was pretty clear that the starting lineup with Josh Hart was just not working against Indiana.
Yeah, the numbers back that up too, right?
Right. So he actually pivoted out of his starting lineup and went with Mitchell Robinson midway through the series, and that's how it went for the last 3 games. That's actually a new thing for Tibbs. I can't remember another Tibbs series where he made a huge starting lineup change, especially deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, it felt like he was coaching for his job. And I guess the biggest question is just like, is that something that you just want Tibbs to do more of and be more adaptable? Like, assuming they bring in some more depth pieces. Like, let's not be a team where we're just running our starters for 40 minutes. I think it worked out this season for them. I know some of the guys did have injuries, but, like, for the most part, like, they were pretty healthy throughout the playoffs. But this doesn't seem like we've seen this with Tibbs, right? In Chicago, like, he pretty much ended Luol Deng's career a little bit early, right? So I guess that's a big question. Like, is Tibbs gonna be adaptable to just whatever changes there are?
I think big picture wise, because like I don't know. There's not too much he could have done maybe within the series that he didn't already do. But I think for me, the big picture wise is just I think part of the reason you want a different coach is you want a different offensive style, man. The Knicks are very much like a roll the ball out, give the ball to your best player, and just let it cook.
Yeah.
And I think that that doesn't necessarily work against teams like the Pacers who have, like, the Pacers are like the best team at sharing the ball. all season. That's what they've been since they got Tyrese Halliburton. That's been the reason why the team is where they are. And of course, that comes down to your talent. Like, I'm not asking for Jalen Brunson to play like Tyrese Halliburton because I don't want him passing as much as, Tyrese does. Obviously, Jalen Brunson's a better scorer, but I do think they need to develop a better system. I don't feel like Cat was maximized offensively. I don't think Cat was hidden defensively enough either. And I feel like, it was always awkward because sometimes OG will go off and sometimes Mikal Bridges will go off, but those are always sometimes players. And I do think maybe I think what happens here is they get a different like offensive coordinator or something.
Yeah. So what percentage you want to give Tibbs? I don't think it should be that high, really.
Nah, I'm giving Tibbs like a solid 20%. Like,
20. That's pretty high.
Is that high? Is that high? Okay.
Yeah. Let's give him like 15.
I'll give him 15. Let's give him 15. Yeah,
So the next two are Karl-Anthony Towns, and Jalen Brunson. And I think we can talk about them in tandem. Like, okay. I think for both of them, like for Cat, I was actually really impressed by the way he stepped up on the offensive end. I think for a lot of stretches there in this series, like he was really carrying them. Yep. And same for Brunson too. But I think ultimately the referendum on them is like, are these the top two guys for a championship team? And unfortunately, when you get to this level, when there's 4 teams left and you're 2 games from the finals, like that has to be the conversation. And they did come up short on the defensive end, and I think that is a valid question.
So Cat for this series, for the conference finals, averaged 24.8 points, shot 50% from the field, shot 37% from 3, got to the foul line a decent amount, shot 77% from there as well. Grabbed more than 10 rebounds per game. So like, I think you got a decent performance from Cat. I think that in the games where the Knicks looked great, obviously Cat had that 20-point fourth quarter, which is going to really stand out. I think he was a matchup problem for the Pacers until Pascal really, like, by the way, that was really cool that Pascal was just like, okay, I'm going to take on the Cat assignment. And you saw in game 6, like Cat really struggled in game 6. Pascal did a great job guarding Cat. Like, and again, like not to like compare him on the same level as Kawhi, but it reminds me of when Kawhi midway through series would be like, all right, I'll take Giannis. All right, I'll take Steve Butler for game 7.
For these two guys, like shouts to Pascal and shouts to friend of the program, Andrew Nembhard as well, right? He was a demon on Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
In game 6 to the point where Brunson headbutted him.
Yeah, by the way, why was that not called, man? What the hell? That would be a yellow card or even a red.
I'm surprised Reggie Miller didn't run on the court and just make the call.
Yeah, Reggie Miller was like, it's so funny that happened again. I guess everyone just missed it. Like, he's talking about a very memorable moment from back in his day.
I've been trying to be pro Reggie, but like we got like a Knicks player lying on the ground, like holding his head, and he's like, I think it's his knee, Kevin. And it's like, no, he's holding his head.
Yeah, well,
you're courtside. This is not like you're in the Boo Porzingis seats.
We might have to put Reggie Miller on this list too. Actually, I think Reggie Miller deserves a little love.
Man. But yeah, so I think when you lose at this level, like I think the top 2 guys have to take some blame, and that's why they're here.
Yeah, I think Cat deserves a blame because defensively, this guy just doesn't know what he's doing.
Right. Yeah, he was like. I mean, the people should read that Athletic article by Fred Katz and James Edwards III, and really the blame was that it was hard to really get any defensive cohesion during the season, and there was just a lack of communication on the court to the point where they brought in PJ Tucker to really be like a voice to bring the guys together. Oh, like he wasn't just another pair of Air Yeezys.
Is that what he was wearing? By the way, I think the Cat thing is clearly just the defensive part, right? Because like,
we saw this in Minnesota, man. Dude, like when he played next to Gobert.
So after they won Game 5 in MSG, they had Cat on for the post game interview with the NBA crew, and Charles Barkley asked Cat outright, "Why do you just give up so many dumb fouls?"
Yeah,
and Cat's answer was just, "I don't know, man."
Yeah, he's like God only knows.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to hear that right now. Like, this is like. Yeah. Cap, this is the reason you got traded from Minnesota, which you didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
This is the reason if the Knicks aren't going to make it over the top, it'll be on you. Like,
I gotta defend Cat in that. Just like the Knicks knew what kind of player they were getting. Like this. Okay. This is like they needed to have a team like whether it's Mitchell Robinson playing next to him, whether it's having all these wing defenders and building a defense around that. They knew they weren't going to build a defense around Cat. So I actually don't think it's fair that he's taking this blame because we already knew this was the type of player. If anything, the toughest thing is that from a team building standpoint, his contract is like, I think he's making like $60 million in like 2 years.
Yeah, but that's
and
fine.
That's going to hamper them.
That's fine because Jalen Brunson took Tobias Harris money. No, seriously, Tobias Harris making 25.
I need to see Rick Brunson's coaching contract with the Knicks.
Oh, Rick Brunson getting paid $65 million a year, no problem. Man. That's their Thanasis workaround.
So I'm gonna zag here and defend Cat a little, but
at least someone's defending with Cat.
Meow. If you want to, I thought you liked cats, man. So if you were to assign blame to these two guys, how would you assign the percentages for these?
I would give. Man, I'd probably give Cat 15%. I'd give Jalen Brunson 15% because I think Jalen Brunson has similar defensive issues. Yeah. Some of those he can't help because he's just small.
But this is if you're affording.
But Jalen Brunson hogs the ball a little.
But you're affording Jalen Brunson that grace. I think you should afford Cat the same. We know they're not good defenders.
Have you seen some of Cat's fouls? He just randomly goes out there and just pushes people with two hands.
I know, but he's done this for his whole career. Yeah, I don't know why we're surprised. But this is the best that. But this is the best that Cat can give you. Like just be like this dominant offensive player
who pushes people
and you just got to figure out the rest. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I get that. Like I know that Cat's not a perfect player. That's why he got traded. And I know that Jalen Brunson's not a perfect player.
I didn't know I was a Cat lover, man.
Nah, you know what? Actually, I'm so happy for you because we started this season with you being like, "This is gonna be a terrible trade for the Knicks."
I literally lost a bottle of Baijiu to Ranger and Hongsheng because of this trade.
I think the Sixers are going to be a better team than the Knicks this year. They're going to win more games than the Knicks because of Cat. And now at the end, you're defending Cat.
Wongstradamus's reputation's in the mud.
Oh, man. No, I think 15% each is fair.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Who we got next here?
Yeah. Next one is Josh Hart.
Okay, yeah. Make your case for JH here.
With all due respect to my good beloved friend Josh Hart of the same name here in Rexdale, but
Joshua,
yeah. Listen, what I think sometimes the deeper you go in the playoffs, really beloved players who do good stuff for you in the regular season, you start looking at them differently.
Well, I think the question is Josh Hart overrated?
Well, this is the thing, because like in the regular season, you're like Josh Hart's so important, right? I saw one person online this year who was like, why shouldn't Josh Hart make the All-Star game? And then, you know that stupid Basketball Reference columns thing where they're like, compare points per game, assists per game, whatever. And they're like, well, look, he's better than Pascal. Pascal only scores more. I'm like, there's no way you guys watch basketball like this,
was
man.
Josh Hart leading in win shares?
No, he was leading in win shares and shit. And it was like, but like, Josh Hart might be an 82-game player.
Well, I think Josh Hart is miscast as like a starter on a championship team, and we saw him get moved out of the starting lineup for that reason. Right?
Why do they always close games with Josh Hart?
I think Josh Hart. I mean, he's a Tibbs favorite, and I think the other problem is like I think he had a really good shooting stretch last year in the playoffs against the Sixers.
He was banging them in against the Sixers.
But I bet you if you look at the numbers, like Josh Hart is a very like I don't mind having Josh Hart taking shots. Dude, like he's not Chris Dunn, but like
no, in Game 6 when he was shooting those shots, because you know they have a microphone like under the rim or something,
right?
Yo, it sounded like a kick drum or something. Like sound like it was like
the end of the third quarter, he shot one from like I think kind of like straight away, and somehow it hit the side of the basket.
Yeah, no. It was making making noises you never heard, man.
What kind of campaign geometry is this, man?
No, because like because you've watched so much basketball or you played so much basketball that you know how like rims sound roughly.
Yeah. No, right? I think I love a Josh Hart coming off the bench, which is fine. Like maybe playing 20 to 25 minutes, but I think I agree with you. Like if you're looking at a closing lineup or what that looks like for the Knicks to get to the next level, I don't think Josh Hart can be a part of that.
And here's the thing, I hate this because the playoffs really do tell the truth about the players, but at the same time, it's like it doesn't take away from how beloved Josh Hart is.
Oh, he's got like incredible PR, and I think
he's got great. I mean, he's also just played well in the regular season. Like he's a great rebounder. He's really great in transition. he's physically tough. He's not obviously going to demand a lot of touches. He's a decent passer as well. Like, those are all good traits, and like those are valuable. But again, like, you get to the playoffs, you get to a certain level, and it's just like, you got to look at these guys differently.
I feel bad. I think he's like somewhere between an 82 game and a 16. I'm gonna call him an 88 game player.
Yeah. You know what? He's good for the first round.
He's like an 88 game player.
Yeah.
He'll
First
give you
round
six.
with
He'll
Josh
give you
Hart,
6 in the
perfectly
playoffs.
fine. Yeah, but second and third round, you get to Josh, and you're like, because he's not really a 3-point shooter, and he's also not a defensive stopper, right? So like, there are different things that come in. Anyway, I'll probably give him like 5. He already got pulled from the starting lineup. I feel
that's
kind of
fair.
bad for him.
Who we got next?
OG Anunoby.
Oh,
yeah,
you know
go
what?
ahead, Alex.
This one's easy, man. He missed a free throw in game 1.
Okay,
that could have changed the trajectory of the series. I think the Pacers win the series anyways.
I thought he doesn't shoot trying to miss, man.
Even with the game 1 collapse, but if he makes that shot and then Halliburton, we play it out. Halliburton steps on the line. It's not a 3. The Knicks hold on and win by 1. That's really the specific thing. I thought OG played really well.
That is fair. That's fair because
because otherwise I do feel like OG played really well. So I'm not going to give OG a hard time.
OG for the series averaged 17.5 points. He was the third leading scorer. Shot 46% from the field, only 29% from 3. 12 of 41. Didn't get a high volume. Didn't shoot a high percentage. But again, like whatever. 62% from the foul line. Or no, sorry, 50. Wait, what? No, 71% from the foul line, which is below his career average. I think for me the biggest thing with OG is I just didn't feel like he shut down Pascal. Like,
he didn't.
Pascal's
he didn't win that matchup. He didn't win that matchup. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I know Pascal's a really hard guy to match up with because he's like a lot is in transition. A lot of it is coming off of cuts and movement. And so it's not like Pascal was just one-on-one, slow it down, isolation against OG, and he was just walking OG down. That's not what happened. But also at the same time, I'm like, you're paying OG the max because he is one of the best 3-and-D players in the league. Didn't shoot the 3 well enough in this series, which is one thing. But the defense was always, I thought, a non-negotiable. And I honestly thought coming into this series, the reason I thought in the back, I mean, I picked the Pacers to win in 6, so like that's how whatever. But like part of the reason I had some doubt was I'm like, damn, but could OG just shut down Pascal? Because like they're teammates for like forever, right? And if you were to design somebody to guard Pascal, it would be somebody who knows his game inside out, and then like is also shaped like OG is, And like at no point did I even feel OG's defensive impact on Pascal.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Like we're familiar with watching OG. Like we've seen him shut down, all types of players from like Nikola Jokic to
He also used to great on Jimmy Butler.
Right. So I think that's
everyone except for P basically because
I think that's a fair. I think that's a fair criticism, especially because, like you mentioned, if you're paying OG to be that guy at this level, like he has to be a difference maker, and he wasn't on that end in this series. So
let's give him 10.
Okay, let's give him 10. Who's next?
Mikal Bridges is on here.
Yeah, I think it's just tough, man. Like I think this era of the Knicks is just gonna define by them giving 5 picks.
Right.
For Mikal Bridges. Like the Knicks would be in such a different position right now if they hadn't made that move. Like I think they would probably be like a prime candidate to go after any of these superstars this summer and be able to upgrade the team, but instead they decided to make this move and the cap move and now they're locked in. And again, Bridges, you look at the numbers and they're like perfectly fine, but it's like I never felt his impact anywhere during the playoffs. I mean, he had those 2 great like game-ending steals, blocks against the Celtics, so he had his moments. But again, I think I put him with OG as well, and then probably with Cat and even Brunson too. It's like just like they just all fell short in their own way,
Yeah. Well, this is how you know the difference between a star player and a role player. Is the star player plays well regardless of the system, and a role player you always point to, well, the system didn't favor them. And I really do feel like if you're going to put some blame on Tibbs, which I did, like part of the blame is that they didn't really move the ball enough to activate OG on a consistent basis, to activate Mikal Bridges on a consistent basis. What that tells you is they're not star players because it don't matter what system you're running, your star players are going to play well, right? So, I think with Bridges, like, I didn't mind when he had the ball, like, it was going to be a turnaround jumper, but like he seems to hit a decent number of those. Like he's a great mid-range shooter. There's no doubt. Him fading into the corner and stuff, but he was just kind of lost. It feels like overkill, honestly. Like I feel like you'd rather commit these resources elsewhere.
I mean, for the money and the assets you gave up and poured in for OG and Mikal Bridges, like they came up short.
Also, Bridges was like the primary defender on Halliburton the whole series. Did you feel like Halliburton was shut down? Maybe one or two games.
Oh yeah, like Halliburton had a couple of quiet games, but
in the important moments, like in Game 6 in the fourth quarter, did you feel like Mikal Bridges was shutting down Tyrese Halliburton?
The Knicks defense was terrible in Game 6.
Yeah,
like it was just terrible overall. Like they couldn't get a stop. That's why they lost.
Yeah,
they couldn't get a single stop. Their transition defense was terrible. It was actually a really disappointing performance, especially for a team that was fighting for its life 2 games from the finals.
This is a super random question, but do you think like if they had Aaron Gordon instead of Mikal Bridges, do you think they'd do better here?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think very highly of Aaron Gordon.
Sure. Yeah.
But again, Aaron Gordon is in a great situation in Denver. Like he fits on that team.
Right.
Like I don't know how he would fit here. Like you're not playing with Jokic. Like it's a whole different scenario.
Because the low-key, the more I think about the Knicks lineup, I'm just like, who is their second ball handler? Like, no wonder Brunson is dribbling the air out of the ball every game. Like, you want OG dribbling? I mean, Pascal was swiping at OG so hard.
Yeah,
Pascal was on Tinder swiping at OG, being like,
oh my god,
like he was just straight up reaching every time. Cat, you don't want him dribbling the ball that much unless it's at, I mean, he's a center, right? He's Miles Turner or whatever, right? Like, Bridges never gets the ball ever. Josh Hart has it sometimes, but he can't shoot. Like, that's why I'm like suggesting a guy like Aaron Gordon, because Aaron Gordon is that big defensive presence is for you as well, rebounds strongly, but also has the 3-point ability and a ball handling ability that you can run some offense through him.
I feel like the Knicks who they really need to get.
Why? What do they need?
I gotta check if he has his bird rights, but Chris Paul. I heard Chris Paul's time in San Antonio is ending. So,
wow. Do the Knicks get every washed up point guard ever? Like Jason Kidd.
Oh yeah, they did have that run. Yeah,
Raymond
they did
Felton.
Have that run. Yeah, no, those
Pablo
guys were all
Prigioni.
courtside in this series.
I'm just telling you, they always get an old 30-year-old point guard, man. Didn't they have Chauncey Billups back in the day?
Yep, they had Billups. Didn't they have to amnesty Billups? I believe Billups was responsible. I believe he was responsible for the creation of We need to bring the amnesty back.
Yeah.
You know who would be the first person to get amnestied? DeAndre Ayton.
Oh man.
I will call that, man. I will bet on that.
Aiden's gonna be like, wait, I get to go home and still make the same money? This is perfect.
It's like, yo, there's ice on my driveway in Portland. I can't make it to this game tonight.
There ain't ice in my veins. There's ice in my lanes.
Oh shit, we're definitely an hour too. Yeah, what were we talking about? Bill? Oh yeah, CP.
Bridges.
CP on the Knicks. CP Leon Rose connection.
But come on, dude.
That's happening.
He's at best going to give you 15 minutes in a playoff series.
Dog, man, you keep sleeping on. Yo, come on, man.
He's sleepy on CP, bro. No, he's sleepy CP at this point, man.
You're sleeping
on Chris Paul.
Yo.
Holy.
Streets are sleeping on 40-year-old CP, man.
Guys, what are we doing?
Watch some Spurs tape, guys. Yeah,
bro,
CP still got it, man.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you and CP the same age, man. Like, come on.
Only one of us goes to the gym every day. He'll be fine.
I'm just saying, man. Like, I respect the point guard and everything, but he's gonna come in and be a backup point guard that plays 15 minutes at most.
Don't disrespect the god.
And they have good backup point guards, man.
All right, what are we?
I'd rather have Tobias Harris over CP. Absolutely, Tobias Harris is a much better player than CP.
We already had this discussion.
Give me Bridges 10% as well. Him and OG should share it. That's your wing stoppers who didn't stop the either wings of Halliburton or Pascal on the other side.
All right, what's next?
Bobby Webster / Masai Ujiri. Don't forget, we have an upcoming event with Bobby Webster in 2 weeks. So.
Oh yeah. Well, don't blame this on Masai then. Just the fact that they. Handed the Eastern Conference MVP to the Indiana Pacers. So I think
you know how they got Reggie Miller to hand it over. They should have got Masai Ujiri to hand that trophy.
By the way, the Reggie thing is so funny because I was trying to think of like a Raptors equivalent. This is like if the Raptors made it back to the finals and like played the Warriors in like 2030, and Steph Curry was on the call with Kevin Harlan.
Good.
But yeah, so. Yeah, I think, super happy for Pascal. I think Raptors fans were super thrilled to see him win the conference MVP. 5-4, by the way, close vote.
Yeah.
5-4. Can we have more than 9 votes?
No.
We can't let Steve Abusher decide everything.
It's like the Fellowship of the Ring. You got 9 people, and they're gonna decide the fate of the universe. Man, it's all good.
They're like, yo, is Bobby Marks on Media Row? Get him to send in a vote, man. Yeah. Super happy. And listen, I don't think. I mean, I'm not gonna say this is like the Pacers version of us getting Kawhi, but like. By getting Pascal, now you look at it like back-to-back conference finals. Now they're in the finals.
Yeah,
this move really Pascal wasn't the one move that put them over the top, but
sure.
Look at his performance in this series, man.
Oh yeah.
So
hey, but listen, Masai, all's forgiven when you get Giannis, bro. This child's play, man. I'm sorry.
No, I'm telling you, Masai gets Giannis.
That's child's play. I'm sorry.
Dog, I'll respect every move. Thad Young for a first rounder. Goran Dragic. Like, love it, man. Love it. It was all part of the plan.
Here's the thing. People are going to have bricks, man. It's not about never having a brick because then you're never going to take chances, right? Like, I think someone in the chat pointed this out. This is a great call. But, like, the Pacers tried to give the max to DeAndre Ayton.
Oh, remember? That's right. They signed him to the offer sheet.
They signed him to the offer sheet. Right. And ultimately, that got matched, which, was great for Indiana. Because they pivoted another way. Also, didn't they already have centers in the roster, by the way? Like, Miles Turner's like, bro, what the hell, man?
I'm super happy for Miles Turner, too, man. He's been, involved in trade rumors for, like, a decade.
Yeah. He's the trade rumor guy, man. He's, like, this generation's Ersan Ilyasova, basically.
Yeah, so I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Remember for a while it was Miles Turner and Buddy Hield was going to be the package going to the Lakers for their first rounders.
Yeah, and they were like, "Nah, that's trash." Meanwhile,
Pelinka's like, "I'm going to get Luka in a few years, so like, yeah, I'm good." Yeah.
Pelinka's like, "I think one first rounder would be good for Luka, so I'm going to hold out to that one Lakers first rounder." But no, I mean, Masai and Bobby, like, I would say both the Knicks and the Pacers saw the Raptors and basically took advantage of the Raptors. And as the GM and the front as management of the Raptors, you should have gotten more from this. But
my thing,
I don't know. Again, like my mind's on Giannis now.
My thing with the Pascal thing,
perfect smokescreen.
My thing for the Pascal thing is just they let it go too far. Right, he was heading to free agency. There was not going to be a lot of value there. Like this just all goes back to if they were going to tear down and make the trades, they should have done it maybe a year earlier or in the summer. Before the start of that season, and they were just in a position where they had no leverage, and they ended up with the package that they got.
Yeah. I think OG. I mean, the Knicks were definitely whispering in OG's ear, and I think I also think the Raptors would have never paid OG the max. So OG, what the trade is, what it is. I think the Knicks dictated the terms of that trade, and I think that the Pacers. I mean, the Raptors tried to shop Pascal everywhere. I don't think that it helped that the Raptors. Let's say put off Pascal, and just like publicly kind of like. And remember, man, this all like bullshit in the past now. But like, remember how like Summer League there was a lot made of Pascal not going to Summer League. Like, why is that, right? And it's like, well, he's not going to go if he's just going to be asked every day where you're going to get traded. What's going on? Are you going to get traded? Then you had training camp or like the media day where Masai pretty much says that Pascal's selfish. Which Pascal then pushed back on and ultimately went to the most unselfish team in the league, by the way, and seems to thrive perfectly there. So I don't think that like that situation was maximized. I think we all know that. But I also think that the market was undeniably terrible for Pascal back then. And I don't think this is because Pascal was like forcing his way because he wasn't going to sign an extension elsewhere. I just feel like teams were not, like the NBA at large was not appreciating what Pascal can do. And this is my only defense of Bobby and Masai on this is they went to Atlanta and said, hey, we got Pascal Siakam. Would you trade us some of your players? And they're like, I can't let go of Kobe Buffkin. What's Kobe Buffkin doing, right? They went to Sacramento and they're like, hey, we're going to give you Pascal Siakam. He's going to play forward for you. You have a forward right now, Keegan Murray we like. Can we get Keegan Murray? They're like, fuck you. We can't give you Keegan Murray. All right, what's Keegan Murray doing right now? In fact, what's the whole Sacramento Kings doing? They went to Golden State. They went to Golden State. They're like, hey, you guys need somebody for Steph Curry's aging out. Draymond's aging out. I think you guys know Pascal. We just saw him cook you guys in the finals. Would you guys want Pascal Siakam? We kind of like Jonathan Kuminga. And they're like, you know what? No, we want Kuminga. Our owner loves Kuminga. We're not even going to entertain this trade. We're going to laugh you out the room. And when you think back on this, I don't think Masai and Bobby should be the only ones wearing this Pascal blame because it's like the league as a whole at that time was treating Pascal like the Raptors were trying to sell Jeremy Grant.
They just shouldn't have waited that long, but I'll see you in 2 weeks, Bobby.
But also, again, you get Giannis all
let's because this is stay sponsored media, we'll give them 0.01%.
No, we give him 5. Come on, let's give him some 5, man. Let's give him 5, bro.
Yeah, put a 5 on it. Yeah. Who's next?
Get them 5. They get 2.5 each, basically. Vivek Ranadive.
Ranadive. That's how you pronounce it. I'm saying Ranadev. Ranadive. Yeah. By the way, I'm going to the Kendrick Lamar concert next week, so I might need to hit up Ranadive for his Not Like Us t-shirt.
Oh, no.
Ranadive, traded. I guess this was a challenge trade. Halliburton for Sabonis. Do we call that a challenge trade? They decided to roll with De'Aaron Fox. Of course, Fox is gone now as well.
Sure.
So that one, I guess Kings fans should be more mad at the Halliburton trade than Raptors with the Siakam trade. You think that's fair?
Yeah, because okay, well, it's different scenarios because Pascal has so much history with the Raptors. Like, he's beloved. Like, you see how much
I guess I don't remember a single Halliburton Kings moment.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was like him and Buddy Hield back then because they got traded both collectively together.
Yeah. Grind those teeth, man.
They had like multiple. Oh my god, man!
Is he clutch? Keep it.
Goodness, man. I think with them, it was like they had too many point guards, right? Like they had De'Aaron Fox, they had Tyrese Halliburton, and they also had. I mean, this is crazy to say in retrospect, but they had Davion Mitchell as well, who they also drafted with
that's right,
like the 7th pick that year, maybe I think 7th.
Yeah.
So like they just had too many point guards, and they decided they pivoted off of all 3, and now they need a point guard.
Now they got Keon Ellis.
Oh my god! They're like, who would be a great point guard? Not Tyrese Halliburton, not De'Aaron Fox. I want DeMar DeRozan to run point for me.
Yo, reuniting DeMar and Zach LaVine is the funniest thing ever, man.
Who does that on purpose, man?
I think Vucevic should just show up to Kings camp. And Sabonis should just go to the Bulls, and we'll just pretend a trade happened, man.
The Kings had something decent going. They were like, okay, we're gonna take Mike Brown. We're gonna put in some Warriors principles. They were exciting for a while. Light the beam.
That was such a fun season, and it feels like
2 years ago.
Now they're just back to being the Kings.
Yeah, right. So
they're just back to being the Kings, man.
Honestly, they definitely are more than Bobby and Masai, man. I mean, you got them Halliburton. Yeah, you know what? Give him 10. Give him 10.
Okay, we'll give him 10.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Because they already got 10 in DeMar.
Oh my god. Who's next?
Timothée Chalamet.
Oh right, Chalamet.
Oh, sorry, it's Chalamet. Chalamet.
Yeah, I just gotta ask. Like, I wasn't sure if it was a bit this whole time that you guys kept on saying Chalamet.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
Wait, how do you pronounce his name?
Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Gotcha.
Chalamet.
All right,
Got you.
Timothée Chalamet. I don't know, man. This man just he's the new Spike Lee. I'm super happy for him.
No,
because we've seen all the footage of him like as a kid, like posing with Knicks fans.
He won a ticket contest back in the day when like the players would just be like, "Yo, if you show up to like 5th Avenue, like and I don't know 44th, like we'll give you a pair of Knicks tickets."
If you show up to DeLon Wright Circle.
You know what? If you're at the DeLon Wright Circle, you should definitely get a pair of Knicks tickets. But
let's kiss at Kyle O'Quinn Crescent.
Yo, Mindauskis Kuzminskis corner.
What?
But like he won a ticket contest giveaway with like Landry Fields. Yeah, and like I don't even know who this other guy is. I hope that's his dad.
Yeah,
that's Landry Fields, bro.
Yo, is that Poku?
Who is that, man? That's not another Nick, right? That's got to be his dad.
I feel like that's Poku. Yeah.
Yeah, Landry Fields says, haha, the contest is over. Tim Chalamet is the winner. Found us at Grand Central. Congrats, Tim. See you Friday at the game. Bro, this could have changed his whole life, man.
This is like you posing with Rob Ford.
Oh, that's Andy Routens? No way. No way. Wait, hold on. Can we see the picture again? Is that actually Andy Routens?
Yo, not AR.
Yo, that could actually be Andy Routens. Wait, hold on.
Yo, that's crazy.
Oh my god.
I think Chad is right.
That is fully Andy Routens. Yeah. Played his training camp one year.
2010 Knicks. Because this tweet's from 2010, and that definitely is Andy Routens, who was a part of the roster that season.
Wow.
That's insane, man.
Yo,
Polar bear alert.
Man, that's the Landry Shaman of Brady Haslips, man. Holy.
that sounds good.
Everybody in the chat
Brady...
says it looks like Skeets. It looks like Jay Skeets.
Nah, it doesn't look like Skeets, man. Relax,
yeah, come on, guys. Get your look-alike games.
That's not Poku. No, wow, that's Andy Rounds. Wow.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane.
That's amazing.
No, but I'm super happy for Chalamet, Chalamet, because like if I was of his stature,
making a Malaysian is crazy.
No, if I was of his stature, of his celebrity, after you make like you can't call my name or whatever that movie was.
Yeah, call me by my real name, bro. Hey, come on, bro. It's during Pride Month. During Pride
movie.
Month?
No, great movie, man. Great movie. That was the godfather of Brokeback Mountains, man. And I think like
words?
This is how I would live, right? Like pull up in chrome hearts, Knicks color chrome heart jeans, jacket, bring Kylie Jenner, fly out to Indiana, sit next to Ben Stiller, dap up Spike Lee. Like this is the life, man. This is how it would spend. Like I feel like this is how you would do it if you became a celebrity. You would go courtside with the Raptors next to Nav Bhatia,
What, you want me to be Sam McDaddy?
No, but that would be you though. This is the life,
This guy got Kylie Jenner going to sit courtside in Indianapolis on a Saturday night.
She's like, "Who is Pat McAfee?"
Yeah. Like. Anyway, I don't know, man. I mean, Timothy's like on an all this has been said many times, but Timothy's on an all-time white boy run, man. Like he's like, in terms of the rankings, like he's like not.
Yeah,
there's not even anyone in close. Man.
Ryan Russillo is too. Yeah, so it's an all-time run right now.
Well, it's
so.
good. It's good to have. Yeah, I don't know what blame does he get here though. Like
I just wanted to shout him out. Man. So 0.01.
Okay, yeah, he just deserves to be on here
for Timmy. By the way, it's really funny because obviously
this
the Knicks.
This mean Michael Imperioli is getting 7%.
He's getting whacked. Spoilers. But it's funny to me this whole celebrity row thing for the Knicks. Because like you'll see certain celebs like Ben Stiller, like all these guys are always like courtside, right?
Right.
And then certain people get put in like row 2 and row 3. Yeah. And I wonder who gets the most mad. Like when their PR person is like, "Hey, yeah, got your Knicks tickets, Michael Strahan, but you're gonna have to sit in row 3," because you know how these celebs are. Like,
for sure.
Like they must like feel a certain type of way if they get like row 3 here.
Well, you know how it is. Like the agencies and stuff, like they own the tickets,
right?
And then so, but the issue is like whichever agency Timothy's with, like he's got the courtside tickets.
Yeah, so and of course James Dolan's gonna make sure that happens. But like I saw Susie Essman. I think she's from Curb. She sat next to Larry David like front row in game 1, but in game 5 she was in row 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So just different. I'm very interested in that because like Fat Joe and Jadakiss had courtside, but Joe Budden was right behind them.
Oh wow.
Joe Budden couldn't get front row.
By the way,
no respect to podcasters.
Hey, listen. Timothée Chalamet is represented by United Talent Agency.
Oh, shoot.
No wonder he got courtside.
Yo. If we get him on before Bill Simmons does, that'll be the ultimate W, bro. Let's just focus on Serge Ibaka.
I do have a random question just because you mentioned Celebrity Row. Because while watching all these, because I would watch them on League Pass, I was always jealous that New York just had like the best halftime shows because they had so many New York artists coming through. But then, like, while you're planning or, like, programming for, considering, like, do you save a particular artist for the finals if you make it there? And if you did, who was that going to be?
Oh, man, yeah, that's a great question. Because I know during the conference finals, they had, like, Busta Rhymes.
I think they had Mary J. Blige.
Yeah,
like, they had everyone. And I think
but she was doing halftime, though. That doesn't count.
Sure. No, but that's what I'm saying. But even for, like, the halftime performances, it's, like, one of those things that very similarly, especially because it's New York, you have so many like storied New York artists that I'm assuming you're just bringing one after another in, and I'm wondering if there were like, but if we make it to this level, this is where we get like the real legends, the real stars.
I would say Jay-Z, but he's like a former Nets owner.
Right.
So he says Knicks and Nets give me high fives.
What on Blueprint 5?
Bro, he said the Nets could go 0 for 82, and I look at you like this shit gravy, man. The Knicks fans will say the exact same thing.
That's when Prokhorov was like, "Oh yeah, gravy. I'm buying the rest of your shares, and I'm trading for Pearson KG. How's that for gravy? You want poutine with that?" Yeah, that's a great question. Off the top of my head, I would say Jay-Z, but I guess that doesn't. I don't even know who else. Like, what do you think, Will? Dive into your New York rap catalog.
Nas.
Maybe a little Rakim. Yeah.
I think there was a time where it would have been Diddy, but like.
Oh yeah. You know what? It could be 50.
Oh, 50 would work. Yeah.
Could be 50.
Could be 50.
Yeah, you're right though.
Yeah.
They would have to bring the heat for the finals. Like.
Yeah.
In the words of Charles Barkley, probably not a good time right now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Shout out Inside. Yeah.
50 would be crazy though. If 50 did like a halftime, it's like if it was like Red Panda and then followed by 50.
Yeah, but here's the
thing. What if it was
like
50 and John? They just like put their arms up
Oh
together.
my god.
Oh man.
But here's the thing. It's like we get so hyped for these halftime things, and it's like they do 3 songs.
Yeah. So.
You know,
what do you expect?
Yeah, what do you mean?
But it's like you get so hyped for it. I remember Jadakiss was at
I think you're getting so hyped for it.
No, I was, because Jadakiss was at the WNBA Finals when I was there watching a game. I was so excited, and he literally did 2 minutes and left. Yeah, and I was like,
they go really quick.
It. Yeah.
Wait, is this true? So there was a year where Drake and Future did halftime for the Raptors.
Nah, I feel like
that sounds.
I feel like we would have known about this.
No,
Are you
this is
tricked
like,
by ChatGPT.
Wait, no, am I? Hold on. I'm gonna.
He didn't even do All Star. It was Sting.
No, but this is like before they got bigger. Hold on.
Oh,
this is like a real thing. Hold on. I just there's a video here.
Somehow Jerome and I are skeptical.
Okay. Bring my thing up.
Yeah. Okay.
Bro, this is Drake night. Drake and Future at halftime. This is 20. What year is this? January 11, 2014. I guess they're playing a set at halftime. But bro,
like were they both there?
No, they're just there.
Okay, but you know what? Okay, yeah, you're right.
It's just a Drake night.
Also,
he's more likely to play at Ryerson than at Raptors game.
This was the night I got like 11 Drake night shirts.
Oh yeah.
All right,
you know what?
This bad hip hop off.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. But I was just curious. Yeah, I think Jadakiss would have been good at this. I think just like having Jadakiss in locks and just doing "We Gonna Make It."
Yeah.
When do you make that call? Like when do you play that song that it doesn't become its own like curse or?
Yeah, I mean Jadakiss also had the iconic performance at the Garden during Versus.
Right.
So
exactly.
This is his home turf. Yeah, it just reminded me too. Yeah, we saw Jadakiss at the Clutch Party at All Star. That was when I was starstruck, and then I took another lap, and he was gone.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was there for a brief moment.
So I had to go and dap Moses Moody. I mean, it's not bad. Not a bad consolation.
Not Jada. I don't know that you call that a consolation at all. Anyway,
you were giving out curse daps at that Everybody got cursed by that.
We're 90 minutes into this pod. We haven't even reached our second blame pie. Not to be.
We haven't. Here. No, we're not doing the second.
Second one's gonna be very quick. Don't worry.
No, second one we're not even pulling up the pie, man.
Okay, Michael Imperioli, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't travel to Indiana. Wasn't a diehard fan. So give him whatever percentage.
Right. By the way, Fat Joe has performed at halftime. I remember this.
Okay, how about
I saw Fat Joe perform at halftime in 2019 when the Raptors went to MSG. I was actually at that game, so I remember seeing this. I think Fat Joe did 3 songs, which is perfect for Fat Joe because people only want to hear 3 Fat Joe songs.
Was it Lean Back New York?
It was Lean Back and then All the Way Up, which he also did.
Yeah, banger.
Oh, I thought he would do What's Love.
Oh yeah.
It was. I think it was just 3. Maybe there's one. I think that was it. Yeah.
Fat Joe and Jadakiss, by the way, have a new pod, so you guys should check that out. It's called Joe and Jada. A really good pod, actually. Do that after you listen to Hello and Welcome. Come on now.
All right. Well, looking at the last 2 here, since we're not really assigning something to Michael Imperioli, we do have Thomas Bryant. We have 15% left to dish out. How much do you want to give to Thomas, and we'll give the rest to Michael?
How many threes did he hit?
I think he hit 3.
Thomas Bryant? Yeah, give him 3 for the threes he hit.
3%. So that means Michael Imperioli gets 12%.
Yeah, let's give him 12.
He was a huge part of this.
I didn't like the way I didn't like the way the Christopher Adriana storyline ended. So
Yeah, you know what? That's fair.
There it is.
Yeah, perfect. There you go. All right.
did it.
We did it. All right. So recapping over here, we have Tom Thibodeau with 15%, Kat with 15%, and Jalen Brunson with 15%. They are sharing the top 3.
Yeah, fair.
Over there. Up next, I'm going to try to go in order. So Michael Imperioli actually comes next after at 12%.
Upset of the century.
Upset of the century. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Vivek Ranadive each get 10%. We have Josh Hart and Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster. Masai and Bobby sharing 5 and Josh getting 5 on his own.
Right.
Thomas Bryant, 2.99%, and Timothée Chalamet, 0.01.
Pretty good. I like
Pretty good.
this. Except for
Yeah.
the Michael Imperioli part. But
Yeah.
if you want, you could put Leon Rose instead of Michael Imperioli. I think that would perfectly
Leon
fit.
Rose. I think some people wanted Ben Stiller in the mix.
I mean, what does Stiller do, man? He just
Ben
supported his
Stiller putting out the 7 seasons too slowly. So we throw
That's
him
a
on for
general Apple TV complaint, I think. Yeah.
Put him on for that. No, don't listen to the people, man. That's
No, I'm just
Yeah.
sharing some of the feedback. That's all.
All right.
Okay.
What we got next?
We're not throwing up an OKC Wolves blame pie. I don't got it.
All right. You guys want to just talk about? You want to just talk about Pascal getting Finals MVP then, or
Sure.
Eastern Conference Finals MVP? First off, I love the fact that they. No, I love the fact that they introduced these. First off, like I think it's actually a great way to like. There's just not enough hardware in the league, and I think the NBA recognized that, and they introduced a lot of awards. Some of them
Zag,
don't hit.
I hate it.
I do actually have a question about it.
Some of
for
them
both of you.
I kind of hate because like, or some I don't like because like they don't like clutch player like doesn't necessarily feel the most like verifiable year after year.
Man,
but,
nobody cares about clutch player.
But this, I think this is totally fair. Like, who was the best player in the Western Conference Finals? Who was the best player in the Eastern Conference Finals? Like, I think those are things that, especially when you look back on a player's resume for the end of their careers, like this actually does hit pretty hard. I'm happy Pascal won it. Pascal was a leading scorer. He had a 60% true shooting for the Pacers. I'm happy that it was close because it was close. It was 1A, 1B between him and Halliburton. The only thing I'm not happy about is I still see a lot of people being like, they're not just like happy for Pascal. They're like, well, Pascal's only doing this because he's in Indiana. Do you know what I mean? It's all really backhanded. Like the reason he's doing this is because he's playing with Halliburton. The reason he's doing this is because he's playing with Miles Turner as his spacing center. And yeah, of course, that's just how basketball works, you know. But at the same time, like, just give him his credit, man.
That's why you gotta. That's why you gotta get off Twitter and be on Blue Sky, man.
Yeah, is that what Blue Skies? Is that where Pascal propaganda went, bro?
Yeah,
that
what
guy
happened-
disappeared
what
at the wrong time.
Yeah, what happened to Blue Sky, guys?
Oh man.
Here's a good
Anyways.
analogy of, at least like in terms of Pascal getting it over Tyrese Halliburton. That was like Alex Superman Johnson thought he was going to get the MVP, but it went to Alex Wong.
You know what? That's a great point.
That's a real great pull.
Yo, shouts to ACE, man. This guy knows all the Alex Wong lore. It's crazy.
You know,
I
people know so
actually-
much about you, man.
Yo.
I actually have a question about the award for both of you, because especially as you're talking about it, and also because specifically Pascal got it, and a lot of people wanted to add it to Pascal's case as like a superstar, as maybe like Hall of Fame in the future.
Hey, man.
A conference
here first on the
finals
pod.
MVP versus an All NBA. What's worth more?
Conference Finals MVP.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're similar, man. Because you're gonna
But
be
it doesn't-
remembered for
doesn't
being the
even-
best player on the biggest stage. Yeah.
Does it even factor in for contracts?
Well, it's the best player on the second biggest stage, to be clear.
sure.
It is
I'm
very
curious
good.
Oh, yeah,
just
'cause-
because does it factor? Because like obviously getting all the NBA selections will affect a player's ability in terms of like how much they can get into max. Does that factor in with like conference finals MVPs?
I don't think so. Right now,
yeah,
it doesn't
I'm
really
sure.
factor
I'm
in.
sure Grant Williams will find a way to
Oh, my
to
God.
make sure. Yeah.
Can we
players
just not
get-
financially penalize players for getting awards? Like, what the hell, man?
Third apron.
Or
Yeah.
penalize teams.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this is really valuable. That's the thing. Like, I think when you think back on the history, it's like, you know, it is really important. Sometimes players are not going to get their moments in the finals. Like, you know, when we get to predicting the finals, like, I actually don't think that, I think OKC's going to win the finals and win the championship. So, like, whatever. But I don't want what Pascal did in this whole playoff run to be forgotten about. And now you actually have the trophy for that. It is interesting. Like, I think it's a good debate in terms of like who had more of an impact on their team. Halliburton, who obviously had that crazy shot at the end of at the regulation of game 1. He also was crazy efficient in that. Which one was the one? Game 4 when they went up 3-1. Like, he had that incredible performance. Pascal also had 30 in that game too. But like, I think for me, the case for Pascal to win it over Halliburton was that not only did Pascal have consistency maybe throughout the whole entire playoffs, especially through the 6 games in the conference finals, but his defense on Cat I thought was a huge game changer, because I thought Cat was gonna like still hurt them a lot in game 6. And once Pascal went off of shutting down OG, which is his original matchup, to going over to guarding Cat midway through the series, that allowed the Pacers to be more solid defensively. And I also thought in game 6, Cat just couldn't do anything with Pascal. Pascal poked it away from him so many times. So, I think the defensive effort, it was close. Like, I think you could have handed it to either guy. That's why it was 5-4. But I just want people to give Pascal like his credit. Even if you were wrong with Pascal in the past, like, what's wrong with just being happy for the guy? You don't have to be like, oh, his success is, Tyrese is doing, his success is the Pacers doing, his success is Miles Turner. Like, bro, just be happy for him. This guy did everything possible and wanted to stay in Toronto. Like, I don't get it, man.
I think we should have more than 9 people voting. Yeah.
How many voters you want, man?
Like the full like amount of media.
You want 450 people?
No, I think all credential media for the series should have to vote. Yeah. Why are we leaving it to 9 people?
Because they were there.
No, but why were the 9 selected and the other ones were left out? Yeah.
I actually do wonder.
Where's
how
James
the NBA
Herbert? I want
guys.
James Herbert to cast a vote.
Oh, James Herbert being a Toronto resident, he would have another vote for Pascal, man.
Yeah, we can't have Steve Abishur deciding everything. Yeah. Anyways, we'll talk quickly about OKC. I guess that's just part of OKC Wolves as part of like the finals here. I don't really have much to say about the Wolves.
Why don't we just go straight to the finals preview at this point?
Yeah, no, but
yeah.
All right.
We got time. Will any parting thoughts on OKC Wolves before I ask you some big finals questions?
That was truly a series with no moments, unfortunately. It's less than a week after that series is over, but I don't really remember much from it. The Wolves were so obviously going to fold in game 5, and they did. I think that we probably saw the limitation of what the Wolves do. I think offensively, they're just not that creative. It's a lot of like give Ant the ball to create and then shoot a lot of threes. It's not that creative of an offense. I think that there probably is a limitation there. They made it easy for OKC to shut them down, and I don't think Ant was ever so compelling. Like, you probably needed one of those, like, back when remember LeBron had that 25 straight points against the Pistons back in the day to like overcome the better team. Like, the Cavs are not a better team than the Pistons, but LeBron had 25 straight points in regulation. He had 29 of the final 30 points for Cleveland in that season. It's like literally one of the best all-time playoff moments. So like, I'm not trying to say that I need Ant to do that, but if we're gonna already give him face of the league, if we're gonna give him like, he gives me MJ flashbacks, give me some MJ flashbacks right now. And he was very quiet.
Wolves will be an interesting team in the offseason. We can talk about them more when we get there.
Rudy looks washed. Mike Conley, a little old. Randall disappeared.
That was a tough finish for Randall, but the NBA Finals start on Thursday. It's really weird that there's, you go from every night of basketball to just taking a little break here.
Right.
Wasn't sure what I was supposed to do last night. I guess I watched 2 movies instead of 1 movie. But yeah, Thunder, Pacers starting on Thursday. I guess my first question to you is, make the case for this not being just Thunder in 5, because I feel like that's the general consensus here.
Yeah, I've been, because it was leading this way the whole time, right? When the Pacers went up 2-0, and when OKC is just much better than Minnesota as it turned out. But I've been thinking about like what advantages Indiana would have, and I think the way for Indiana to win games would be they dictate the tempo. They continue to play fast without turning the ball over, which is incredibly difficult to do against OKC and how much ball pressure they have. The issue is defensively, I don't really see a good matchup at all for who guards Shea. Indiana's not a team that really like swarms and double teams and everything like that. So I'll be really curious to see how they handle the matchup particularly. I also think that Indiana has this great advantage for how much depth they have. They have so many point guards. They're always coming at you with different ways, and it's just random guys like Thomas Bryant coming off. Issue is OKC has as much, if not more, depth than Indiana does. They have guards. They have a lot of point guards as well, to especially guard, I guess, opposing point guards. I think you need Pascal to have like a Finals MVP type performance against Jalen Williams. Maybe. But Jalen Williams is also an all-NBA defender, so that's tough. And I think that maybe if you're probably working a lot of pick and rolls, maybe you go at Hartenstein a little bit because he wants to drop more. But again, they just have so many weapons, man. I don't know. I think OKC for me is clearly the superior team, and I probably would giving them OKC in 5 as well. But I don't know. Do you see any advantages Indiana has over them?
No, and the way I think about it too is like, the Thunder, answered a lot of questions in that Denver series. And, look at the other 2 series that they played. Like, they blitzed the Grizzlies, and the Wolves were pretty much the same. They won both of those series in 5.
But you're not really going to blitz Halliburton, though, because I think that actually just plays into Halliburton's hands.
Yeah, but I think just on the talent level, once you go down the 2 rosters, and, you can't forget that the Thunder are 80 and 18 heading into
the Thunder could go 80 and 18. I look at you like this shit gravy.
Yeah. Presti's like, yo, I still got Nikola Topic. This shit gravy, bro. I'm adding I'm adding the FIBA under 18 MVP to the real MVP next year.
Honestly, I wouldn't even joke, man. OKC turns everyone good, man.
But yeah, no, I don't think this is gonna be a long series, and that sucks. Well, just because like it's the finals, and I was thinking of like. Just think about the last few finals. Like last year's, like if you go by letterbox ratings here, like last year's finals was like a 2-star. Like Celtics beat the Mavs in 5. Like there wasn't really much drama. Who was
in the finals? Yeah.
2 years ago was probably a 2-star. It was like Nuggets and the Heat.
Yeah,
that was a 5-game series. Like that, I don't think people are really tapped into that.
The Heat just didn't have nearly enough, man.
It just feels like this is going to be a similar series where I feel like Thunder are going to come out, win those first 2 games at home. And then the series will be pretty much done. And I think that'll be the tough thing. I guess we've had some...
I thought a series doesn't start until home team loses,
well,
man.
then Thunder's going to go and win Game 3.
Okay.
But, like, yeah, we haven't had a good finals, I guess. Like, Golden State Boston was pretty good. That was really good, actually.
Sure.
Yeah. Phoenix, Milwaukee, I like that one, too. But we need a good finals, and we haven't had good finals in a few years, man.
You know what? You're right, actually, because I think we actually did letterbox rankings for finals over the last decade.
I'm sure we did.
We did. We fully did.
God damn. Sounds like something we did.
Yeah, honestly, like, this was... I don't want to cut out Indiana because I've admired how well Indiana's played the whole time. They played really well. I think that they just need to keep their turnovers down, which is very hard to do against OKC. But if any team does it, it's like Halliburton's like the king of never turn the ball over. If OKC wants to swarm and blitz Halliburton has the passing chops to sort of do that. Like, I could see the case for this being competitive, but I ultimately do see OKC having the best player in this series in Shea. They have the same amount of depth, and I think there's not an advantage that OKC has. That Indiana has that OKC doesn't have something to counter with, which is going to be tough, man. Also, I wish if Nesmith is going to be healthy again, because after that Game 1 performance, he kind of just disappeared. I mean, obviously he got injured, but like,
yeah.
He's got to be guarding Shea, bro.
Got a little trivia, NBA Finals trivia for you.
All right.
So there's 3 players in this series who have won NBA titles. Can you name them?
Oh, come on, man. This is way too easy, bro.
You think you're going to get this?
Yeah, Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
Alex Caruso, back when he had hair.
Yeah.
And Thomas Bryant.
Oh, fuck. You really did get it.
Yeah, of course, man.
I had to try to think of where Brian was on the Nuggets, right?
Yeah, you don't remember Denver Nuggets champion Thomas Bryant?
I actually did not remember he was on that squad.
Oh, man.
This is like when they said on the broadcast, DeLon writes on 10 teams in 10 years. I'm like, this guy's just sexy beast in the NBA collecting jersey.
Yo, honestly, DeLon, I didn't know that, man. But I guess ever since the Raptors traded DeLon, like, this guy's just been flipping teams nonstop.
Yeah.
Actually, can you name DeLon Wright's 10 teams?
Oh, my God.
This is a better trivia question. Hold on.
Toronto,
Maybe we'll collectively do this because I feel like I'm gonna help you. Toronto.
Pull up Basketball Reference. Man.
No. Well, Jerome, you pull up Basketball Reference. I feel like we gotta tackle this together. Memphis. We got traded to Memphis.
Sure. Washington.
He was a Washington Wizard.
I'm like done.
Oh my God. Where else?
Was he ever on Sacramento?
Milwaukee Bucks. He was on Milwaukee.
Was he ever on Sacramento?
I'm here in the background.
He
was on Sacramento.
What?
Ooh!
Yeah, I was just gonna say no.
Wongstradamus.
That's 5. Okay, 5. Okay, obviously the Knicks, so that's 6.
Yep.
Yeah. Which conferences, Jerome, do we still need?
Where was DeLon Wright?
I didn't.
Days,
okay,
man?
so what have you listed so far?
We got Washington. We got
Okay.
Toronto, Memphis.
Yeah.
We got
Knicks, Sacramento.
Knicks, Sacramento. Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
You said Milwaukee also.
Yeah, Milwaukee
yes, we
makes
said
it
Milwaukee.
6. Yeah.
Okay. Was he on the Detroit Pistons?
He was for 1
7.
year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm tapped out.
It's funny because
Was he on the Warriors?
He was not.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
Houston?
Miami Heat. He was on the Miami Heat.
He was on the Miami Heat.
He was a Heat. Okay.
When
got it.
was he on Miami?
He was a Heat.
He was on the Miami Heat in 2023, 2024.
He
What?
played minutes for them. Yeah. 8.
Yeah.
So that's 8.
Sleepy Pat.
2 more teams. Okay. Are they? Do we? Okay. Which conferences are these 2 teams in?
Both.
Okay, so 1 in the West, 1 in the East. That really narrows it down.
Worst game show host ever.
Okay. I see the chat here. Dallas was a.
Well, you're not supposed to look at the chat, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll just turn off. I'll just switch the tab. My bad. But he was on Dallas, right? He was part of the 30-point comeback.
Sure.
And then so the last teams in the East. What teams in the East have we not named? Like
It was more fun playing the shooting motion game.
batter up. He wasn't Orlando Magic. He wasn't. Was he a Hawk? Was he
a Hawk? Riveting potting.
was he a
New segment. Was he a Hawk? Brought to you by North of Brooklyn.
Was he a Brooklyn Net? Was he a Net?
If
Did he
I
have
can-
hands? Did he have feet? No.
If I can interject, the answer is yes. He was a Hawk.
He was a Hawk.
Oh my God!
Patrick Kakal over here.
He was a Hawk in
Oh.
2021, 2022
Oh wait.
Yo, that's crazy.
Shouts to DeLon Wright, man.
for 77 games.
Wait,
What?
I think he had almost a near full season with him. Yeah.
This guy might as well have been on No Dunks, man.
I mean, he probably could have come on No Dunks. No
All
doubt.
right, three questions about the
Sure.
finals, and then we'll talk about big Ennis Esmer here. Question number 1: we know that Rick Carlisle called out a bunch of obscure Knicks during the conference finals. Who is the most obscure Thunder that Rick Carlisle will reference in the finals?
Who's that guy they have that's named Jones?
By the way, I double checked. Jeremiah Earl Robinson is no longer on the Thunder.
Bro, he's a Pelican, man.
Okay, was he a Pelican? Was he a Hawk? Then it wasn't me. He was a Pelican.
What sounds to Pelicans, man?
Oh, you're talking Dylan Jones? Yeah.
Dylan Jones, yes, Dylan Jones. He's like a thicker build. You got like a linebacker type build.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, man, they haven't even run that, lineup with Dylan Jones yet. Yeah. They have a player named Adam Flagler.
Oh, Adam Flagler, yeah, good shooter.
What is he, the 51st state?
Good shooter. He's part of Life Sports Agency. That's how I know him.
Oh shoot, that's crazy, man.
I'm not even kidding.
By the way, when are Jerome and I getting Indiana Pacers? Yes, sirs.
I've been working on it.
I feel like we need to. Can we get some conference championship merch, like hats, tees here?
Oh my gosh.
I think we're still working on a yes sirs, maybe towel.
You've been working on this since
We got
round
towels?
1.
I'm not good at this, man. I'm not good at asking.
Microfiber. I'll
I'm not-
message him. I'm messaging.
I'm not good at vocalizing my needs.
Okay,
bro.
I'll message
Every
him.
therapy session, I
I'm
hear this.
messaging. I'm messaging Nemhard's dad. Anyways, what's up, Jerome?
No, I was just gonna throw out there. Brandon Carlson, of course. should be
Oh,
in
how
there.
did I forget that
But
one?
he can't
That's
really.
So
I don't
good.
think. Can he play? Was he signed to the actual roster?
He signed to.
If
fucking
he's a
get
two-way,
free
he can't
Rolex.
actually play.
Right.
Yeah.
Drum's like, why are we talking about this?
But
Carlson would be a good one though. Yeah. Carlson. would be
the
a good
other thing I thought that would be fun is if he kind of went another way of just speaking vaguely about Jalen Williams and not talk about which one, but to like mess up strategy of like how to play. Like he should play
like
Jalen Williams this way.
Yeah. I like that.
They're like they should play more through Jalen Williams.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like
just like play more through Jalen Williams.
The one from New Wave.
Yeah.
New Wave Jalen Williams.
Yo, come on, I haven't watched it yet. No spoilers, guys. No spoilers. Speaking of Jalen Williams, for my second question for you, NBA Finals MVP here on Betway, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the favorite, as he should be to win Finals MVP. But if you're feeling a little bit frisky, Jalen Williams, J-Dub, not the Asian one, to win Finals MVP is 30-1. We just saw Pascal.
Wait, hold on. Are you sure you have the right Jalen Williams here?
Yeah. We just saw Pascal rip the conference finals MVP from Tyrese Halliburton. I'm just saying, if finals MVP, it's down to 9 voters. Jalen Williams has like a 40-point game and a closeout game. I don't know. This could swing. So if you're feeling frisky, 30-1, Jalen Williams to win finals MVP. Non-Asian. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's value right there. Are you kidding me?
Yo, that's great value, man.
You could probably hedge this with the you could probably hedge this with a Shai MVP and you'll be fine. Like,
no one's hedging a Shai. We will discuss hedging in another. Go watch The Big Short again. Okay.
No, but hold on. If you put 5 on this, and you put like 20 on Shai winning it, you'll be fine.
Jalen Williams to win Finals MVP, 30-1. Make sure you hit the QR code below and get all your basketball betting needs on Betway. I was so close the other night to hitting. I bet Pascal Siakam first basket plus Pacers to win. Yo, I guess it wasn't that close because Jalen Brunson scored the first basket.
Betting first basket. This is like in Uncut Gems when they bet on the Celtics to win the tip-off.
I also had
KG
Siakam,
and Elton Brand.
I had Siakam over and Nembhard and Neesmith under 0.5 blocks, but Nembhard got a block in the first quarter. I was like, damn it. Anyways.
Are you talking to me about hedging?
All right. Speaking of winners.
Check out your basketball needs. Yeah, speaking of winners, so is our finals prediction all Knicks and no, what Knicks? Thunder and 5? Yeah. Are we zagging?
Okay,
Anyone zagging?
Give me Pacers in 6.
All right. Did the Reggie Miller jersey land yet?
Well, the thing is, it's landed, but we need our good friend Evie Kwong to pick it up and bring it back.
Oh, right.
Terrace.
Okay, stop having 9 shots of tequila out, Evie, and pick up.
Oh my gosh, why are we dragging?
Terror squad.
All right. So as you
I officially
know,
got OKC in 5. Yeah, I got OKC.
Yeah, well, we're taking OKC in 5. By the way, the predictions update. You picked both conference finals correctly. So I think you win. Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure. Like, okay, if OKC comes through, I think I only got 3 series wrong all playoffs.
Oh wow. Loostradamus.
You know what? Fair. Honestly, fair.
Loostradamus.
What am I flexing on? This is stupid. All right,
Luge.
This is stupid.
Yo, this is Bill Simmons saying, I told you to take Pacers 28-1 to win the East before the start of the season. But it's like you also told me to take Harden to win conference finals MVP.
No, those were I mean, no, I picked Clippers over the Nuggets, which almost happened, I suppose.
Yeah, everybody got Clipper pilled. That was a big
Jerome
problem.
was the only one to pick Minnesota over the Lakers. We both had the Lakers, and then I think we all got Knicks Celtics wrong, just because we all love the Celtics. I think and whatever, but everything else.
This guy said I only got 3 wrong.
Yo, that's not bad. 3 out of like
no,
how many
that's
playoff series are there?
That's incredible.
Like 15 or something. That's not bad.
This is like bragging about knowing Jeremiah Earl Robinson is a belly.
Hold on, I don't even at this point I don't even know, man. Is he?
No, I double checked. He is. Yeah,
okay, good.
I checked. Yeah, JER. Jur. So yeah, congrats to a friend of the program, Ennis Esmer. So he, the CSAs were this weekend.
Yes, sir.
And, he had won the Best Supporting Actor award for Children Ruin Everything the last 2 years, and he 3-peated this weekend. So he's a 3-time Best Supporting Actor, CSA winner, and Children Ruin Everything also won Best Series, Best Comedy Series, I believe. So it was just a weekend of victories for Ennis.
That's fire, man.
Really,
so happy for Ennis.
Yeah, really super thrilled. I wish there was a way to get Ennis to join us, because it'd be super cool to just chat about this. And look who is joining us right now.
Oh my goodness. No way.
Special guest.
No way.
Ennis Esmer's here. Why does he look like he's being AI?
Wait, is he really here or not? I can't even tell these days. Holy.
Ennis, you're going to need to unmute your mic.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh, we still can't hear him.
We still can't hear you, buddy.
Okay, we'll
There's a mute button just at the bottom of the StreamYard. Just unclick that and you're good.
Wow, that's what happens when he doesn't have his producers around. That's why every actor thanks their producers, man. Goodness, man. Where's your gaffer?
Someone in the chat's calling him.
You're good. You're in. Welcome.
Daniel Gaffer.
You're in now, but we still can't hear you. Might have to adjust your inputs.
Can you two take it elsewhere?
Oh my God. No.
Surprise! I hope you're hungry for nothing. Actually, having it on mute is even funnier.
Yo, let's interview.
Just check your input for the AirPods, and then you're.
So this is the guy who took the Knicks to win the championship.
Yeah, I think Knicks Rockets, man. They're about to tip off very soon.
We heard him for 1 minute.
Yo, you got me?
Yeah.
What up? Holy cow.
Hey,
man,
Ennis, bro. 3 to the dome, bro.
Charlie Chaplin over here with a silent era over here.
What'd you go with, man? You go with the Jalen Brunson? Like, when you went up to the stage, you were like, yo, 3-time, baby.
I should have thought of that, but I still don't trust what he's doing with his hands when he does that.
He's doing something suspicious with those hands, and more people need to be talking about it.
Oh, man, thanks for having me on, guys. I woke up like an hour ago. It was a sleep-deprived weekend, but such a smooth entrance. You know what I mean? Really good stuff. Usually we get to do things a couple of times. I'm not used to live things, so.
Sorry, this is not a Sportsnet studio. You're not on TV, and we're not bringing Matt Devlin in as a surprise.
Hey, I'm the surprise. Come on, that's great.
You are the surprise, man.
Hey, I appreciate it.
This is great.
No, Ennis had a beautiful speech when he won his Best Supporting Actor.
Did you do the whole I was surprised, like, oh my God?
He was tearing up, shouting out the cast, shouting out the crew. Like, it was a really emotional speech, and then it also turned comedic as well. Classic Ennis. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks. Just showing range up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. God, your voice sounds great.
Oh yeah, it's rough. I have like a networking hangover just from meeting people that I want them to hire me for work later on. But maybe this is a new avenue for me. I could just talk like this from now on. This looks weird. I'm gonna take this background off. This looks stupid.
No, come on. This is great, man. We can explain the story behind this.
All right, okay.
I thought you were gonna show up just holding all your CSAs, man.
They're here. Do you want to talk to them?
Yeah, let's talk to them, man. Come on.
No, they're just getting to know. They're just getting to know the new guy here. You can't see it. Don't worry about it. See, don't make me be cocky. I'm already feeling bad about being confident. You know what I mean?
Really?
Do you think how big was the ego boost? You think, just from the weekend?
I feel like it was such a great time just around like we don't get to be in the rooms for auditions anymore. So unless you're on a job, you don't even see your peers in this business. You know what I mean? Everything's digital, everything's self-tapes and all that. So it is like a high school reunion every time we get together. And the validation pit, which is usually bottomless, is full for a couple of months. You know what I mean? I can feel all right about myself for a little bit. Wow, serious answer. Gave you a real serious answer.
No, but dude,
this is weird.
We always make so many jokes because we're such good friends, but
we're good
so
friends.
Happy
Speak for yourself, man.
Okay, fine. Well, you and Alex are shopping at Uncle Otis together. By the way, was the whole outfit from Uncle Otis?
Everything I wore was from Uncle Otis. Yes, absolutely. Shouts to Uncle Otis. Universal Works. I went 2 nights. The first night I went, it was supporting actors and directors and all that stuff for comedy and dramas, and then let me just go back to Winning Time here because I'm gonna bring that up in a second. And then we actually also won Best Ensemble Cast for children and everything, like everybody, and that was the best because there's an 8-year-old, then a 12-year-old in that cast, and they got to come up, and they're the heart of the show. And they were, man, I'm giving you like PR answers. This is weird. I don't know.
It's good, man. It's good.
But they were so happy.
Let's read our text messages.
Yeah. They were so don't do it, man. Don't do it. Do not. There's a reason they're private.
He's dead serious too.
Yo,
Holy.
that's serious, man. Don't do it to me. Every time Alex says he's going to tell us, like, every time we hang out, I have to be like, here's what you can't say on the show tomorrow about this last hangout. I have to give like a checklist to make sure. But no, that was cool. And then we ended up winning for best.
Over here.
We best. That's good. That's good. That's good stuff. I could have used that. I could have used that for my speech, man. That's good. And then we actually ended up winning best comedy last night, which I did not expect at all. And that was on the televised broadcast. And we were up against some amazing shows like Letterkenny and Run the Burbs. And
Sure.
I mean, there's a lot of great Canadian comedies, a lot of great Canadian TV. And that was the coolest. That was really special because Kurt Smeaton, who's a dear friend and the creator of the show, he got the chance to really pour his heart out there. And, we wouldn't have any of this without him. So it was great. What's your favorite episode, Will? What's your favorite episode of Children?
I was just gonna ask what was Alex's comment? Was you're the Andrew Fung of what was it again?
I forgot to send Will the PR
Andrew is his
that.
own thing, man. He won best actor in a comedy. You know what I mean? Like his show is wrapped up, and he came out on top, and like he gave a beautiful speech. It was him and his wife's 20-year anniversary was last night when they won the award. So he dedicated the whole thing to her, and you know what I mean? He made that whole thing.
20 years.
Yeah, absolutely. That show's about his family, same as Kurt's children, and everything's about Kurt. So
beautiful,
it was cool,
man. Shouts to AP. You know, Ennis, you mentioned you had 2 nights. I guess you just forgot about bringing me on Friday.
Well, now hold up. I was gonna say there was a day. I was 2 nights, but that day was just so that wasn't a stressful day or a nervous day. That was just a day of pure joy, with me and A-Dubs, me and Wong. Rolling through to I also host Roast Battle Canada, and we were nominated for a bunch of awards in like the sketch and variety category, but we got to sit for a long time because 22 Minutes won every award. This hour has 22 minutes, as they always do, and deservedly so.
That hour had 3 hours and 22 minutes.
It was wild because there's like 50 of them in the crew, and they just like the writers and producers, and they win, and then they go off, and then they all just come back and then go off, and
it was like the KD Warriors, man. It was like the KD Warriors.
Oh yeah. They run and they do that. They're a dynasty for sure. And shouts to Jordan Foisey and Chris Wilson, Stacey McGonigal, Daryl Faria, the whole crew.
This guy's already getting ready to clip these on IG.
I'm trying to give Jerome some content he can use before this gets erased. That was fun too. The highlight was the rigatoni, I think, though, Alex. We had a lot of. They gave us a little bolza. Yeah. We crushed some rigatoni.
And the gnocchi.
Yeah, you had some gnocchi. You had a few of those. I feel like a lot of
that, man.
Gnocchi. That's it's like.
Why are you turning that Japanese?
You
turn it into
Pinocchio. Gnocchio.
It's like Charles Barkley said. It's like saying athlete. Gnocchi.
Yeah, he does say athlete.
Yeah, it was great. No, thank you for bringing me. There was a sports news and entertainment awards, like Ennis mentioned. Okay. So there were some sports people that we knew that was there nominated and
James
won.
Duthie won.
Yeah,
right?
James Duthie.
Great, shout out to James Duthie.
Andy Petrillo was there. Our former teammate, Donovan Bennett. Sportsnet was nominated for a bunch of stuff. Like live events, Stanley Cup, Game 7. Yeah.
So do we talk about the game that we played, or do we?
Yeah, I didn't run that by PR yet. So we were sitting down, and Ennis and I love to play games. From poker.
And we couldn't play hands the whole time. It would have been very distracting.
Oh, we did play hands after. From poker to poker, after. But like so. To help the time pass, because it is it's like sitting at the Oscars.
How long are you guys there for? Like, is this like a 5-hour?
This is like a 2.5 hour show. I want to say the show itself.
I'll tell you what, that award show was 26 awards. The one I won for children and everything was 47 awards. So you got off lucky, but like at least when you win, you get to hang out backstage for like 20-30 minutes, and they bring you back out. But, we were sitting. We were sitting for a good 2 hours.
We played this game where we just took turns guessing who was going to win. To try to see who was gonna get it. And it was like a tennis thing where we each took turn picking a category, and then I went up 2-0, and I was like, "Yo, 91% of teams haven't come back from 2-0."
And then he went 8 and 16 the rest of the way.
Yeah, and then he beat me 16-10. So
I
did pretty well in the sports categories, I want to say. Yeah. But I made a tough call on the Fifth Estate. Yeah, so I bet on the Fifth Estate.
Yeah, it was really tough to hedge those bets where we're like, okay, well, they won for director, so they won't win for show. Or like, look how many people clapped. maybe that means it was more popular. We were trying to, we're using all kinds of analytics.
Really this, man.
Yeah. We had claps above replacement. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, but the gnocchi.
It was cool.
But you guys were playing hands, though? Come on, man. You got to explain to the audience what hands is.
Well, Alex had a few vodkas with a splash of cranberry, I feel like. And
oh, okay, Alex. Did you have a... I'm not even going to joke about that. Never mind.
We got
here's the video. Here's the video of Ennis playing
This is us
hands.
teaching my buddy Daryl Faria and his wife Shannon how to play hands because she took to it immediately. Daryl won.
This is the Chinese drinking game, the 5-10 Chinese drinking game.
That was great footage.
Which Ennis loves.
Footage of my chest and legs. Wow. That's nice, man.
Great framing, Alex. Got the whole Uncle Otis fit into this.
He did have a bowl of gnocchi in his hand while he was doing that, though. So.
The bartender poured so little cranberry juice. We had to ask for a refill of the cranberry juice
we had to go. They were making fun of cocktails. I think there was like an ironic, sarcastic drinks we were drinking there. But
you know, Alex loves you because this guy only wears his Gucci loafers for like weddings. And he had the Gucci loafers, no socks out for you.
Signing papers for my divorce at the lawyers.
Yeah. Well, he needed a pair of socks. He needed a pair of socks from the back of my house.
Yeah, so we went
back.
Do I
get those socks back though? Do I get those socks back?
No. So we went back to Ennis's place because we're best friends. And,
you don't have to explain why you're at Ennis's, man.
And because
assume you're there.
Because we're both like letterbox fiends, and we had talked about watching. This is like Mark Cuban.
Let's go good.
Joining the show.
Good. Yeah, I did take a picture of the award on the urinal because we were in there for 2 hours. I had to go to the bathroom. So it was just the shot on top of the urinal.
We watched a Spike Lee movie, but then when I went in, like I don't know how you feel, Will, about showing your toes. But like I was not wearing socks, so I was like, I don't want to go barefoot in Ennis's place. So Ennis was kind enough to give me a pair
slippers are for.
Nike socks. No, but then your
but then
still showing.
I appreciated the impulse. There you go. That's we're looking fresh in that. But
Alex, why are you dressed like Young, socks. Bro? You look so much like Young.
I was repping Hello GQ. And Welcome. I was like, they don't know I'm part of Hello, and they're like, we don't know who is this.
I was gonna say, was there a best Raptors podcast category? No.
Unfortunately, no. Yeah. So
was there a best podcast category at all?
No. Once again, thank you, Ennis, for joining this tiny little independent production.
Oh man, it's an honor. It's an honor.
Wow. We're trying our best over here.
Yeah, but it was great, and you had the Tom Henry Winnipeg Film Fest lanyard too.
He's wearing
Tom.
it right
you
now.
Still got it?
Yeah. Shout out to Tom Henry. Make sure you check out his new comedy special on Spotify.
Was TH jealous you took Alex instead?
No, I think he's just happy to be at home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was. Sorry, I don't think he thought about it for 1 second. It wasn't a contest, but
I tried to spark any controversy.
No, that's good. Well, I am going. He's developing a new long form talk show that I think I can talk about, but I'm going to be a guest on it later today. Alex, you did an episode, right? So it hasn't launched yet. But I'm definitely going to have to talk about you guys on that show if we're going to do it this way.
Oh, wow.
I'll ask him like a Diane Sawyer type interview. I'll be like, how did you feel that I took Alex to these awards? He's gonna say he was fine. He was sleeping, probably.
So Ennis, we are gonna have you on properly in the summer because we've promised ourselves that we're gonna do some movie pods, and of course, having someone from the industry, come in and chit chat with us would be big time.
That'd be dope.
I think one of the things we want to do is actually watch the 30 for 30 about Reggie Miller and the Pacers winning time.
Yeah,
and we've had long chats about this, about watching winning time, and Ennis has been gracious to be like, come over, watch winning time, all this.
Well, because Will's never seen it, right? That was the whole thing.
He
didn't really know about the history of the Pacers and the Knicks, and how it goes back to 94, 95. And
so
John Starks got baited into headbutting Reggie. How crazy is that?
Wait, how did you know that? How did you know that, Will?
So we were at the CSAs on Friday, and Fifth Estate was up, and then I showed Ennis the group chat, and was like, our group chat, and was like, yo, Will's watching winning time right now. And I don't know if you know this, like I know this from personal experience as well. It's a heavy friendship betrayal when Ennis wants to watch something with you and you don't watch it with him. I've been looking into how to make my letterbox private, to be honest. Ennis and I will hang out, and he'll be like, "Yo, you better not watch a movie when you go home, bro."
Yo, but they actually should have close friends. You know, like the close friends Instagram feature.
Man.
They should have close friends for Letterboxd.
I'll get iced out of Alex's account in 2 seconds.
Yo,
you do not have access to this screening room.
So, Will, this is a heavy friendship betrayal.
Yeah.
You didn't wait for Ennis.
Okay, you know what? For some reason, I think look. It was the funniest thing was after thinking I was like okay after playing basketball because I was out for like a month with like a sprained ankle. I started playing the last week and then it started swelling up again. So then basically what that means is I'm just sitting around like waiting for this thing to like stop swelling, put some ice on it, whatever, right? So I'm like bored out of my mind sitting at home and I'm like, what can I watch right now? Like I'm like honestly, I rewatched season 1 of Friends. By the way, still hits, man. Back when they were real people and Joey wasn't like. Anyway,
Joey Crack.
Stop stalling, Will.
And
yeah, this is really defensive, man.
There was like, okay, you know what? For some reason, I was like, what could I actually watch? And then I was like, oh yeah, I guess the series is almost over. It seemed like we weren't gonna get together because the idea was before the series starts, we watch this to get some history on the between the two teams. And without thinking, I just put this on, and yeah, I'm watching. This is not even in my living room. It's my bedroom. I'm literally lying down in my bedroom.
Oh man!
I'm taking a video of this is the 1980. What year was the draft? 86.
The Ewing draft, right?
5 on
the
it.
Ewing draft?
Ewing, right?
Yeah, this is the Ewing draft.
Yeah.
So this is Dave.
Dave DeBuscher.
Dave Busher, yeah.
Dave DeBuscher and Herb Simon.
Dave
Because we've been
DeBuscher.
joking about Herb Simon on the show, and I didn't realize it came down between the Pacers and the Knicks for who got the right to draft Patrick Ewing. And of course, this is like the infamously most rigged draft, supposedly. By the way, they just had a whole like envelopes in a big bowl. Like that's not transparent.
I know.
Yeah,
Ernst and Young.
like-
I know Ernst and Young didn't audit that one, man.
That looked ridiculous, but it's like a
It's like
carnival
a
game.
retirement home raffle.
Yeah,
That's
they're
what it
like,
looked
who's
like,
gonna
yeah.
get this air fryer? Nancy from 506. You're getting it.
And the Knicks get Patrick Ewing.
So I'm watching this, and
I actually
without
forgot.
thinking-
I actually forgot about that sliding doors moment, man.
Yeah. Well, I guess we would have all known about it if we watched it together. But then I sent this to the group chat, and instantly Alex was like, "You're one move away from being banned from poker at Ennis's."
No, it's cool, Will. I'm glad you got to watch it, and I look forward to inviting you to a poker game sometime in 2027.
Wow. But okay, does it make you feel better that halfway through, once I realized I stopped watching, I'm like, I can watch the second half with Ennis.
I mean, is that really why, or did your foot start to hurt and you had to get up and ice it?
No, I was it was a great doc first off. I'm like,
It
really
feels like a
pulled in.
gotcha interview. We're on like Maury right now.
We were trying to do this to you. Fuck. But
I'm sharing the next part of the chat where I ask Will, "Oh, you're watching Winning Time? Are you telling Ennis this?"
Yeah, the alarm bells went off in the group chat.
I stopped watching, man. I stopped watching.
It was crazy because I saw you like post the thing, and I was like, "Oh, Will's watching something. That's so funny." I'm like, "Wait, why is he watching Winning Time?"
Yeah, I'm like,
I thought you were with Ennis or something.
No, Starks had
This
the
is wild.
headbutt.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is because I know we've been chatting, the 4 of us, about watching Winning Time, and I because Ennis puts me in a lot of group chats, so I just kind of skim them, and I don't read them in detail.
Excuse me. As an adult friend, I think as men, as adults, we should be able to communicate freely whether we are interested in what we're talking about or not. All right?
This is like the worst therapy session amongst
I was
going
gonna say, one of the number one complaints I get in therapy is I'm not a good communicator. So
the whole time for like
caring.
For 3 months when you guys were talking Winning Time, I thought you guys were talking about that Lakers series, that Lakers TV series.
No.
And I'm like, why is Ennis so insistent on Winning Time?
I feel like I was the only person that understood what Ennis was talking about from the rip. Like, just
and that's why we're best friends, Jerome. That's why we're best friends.
Yo, Jerome, do you know how to play poker?
Man, there's a spot for you, man. There's a spot that's ready right to my right.
I'm familiar with the game.
Yeah, okay, fine. Just don't bet against Wes, okay? Just if Wes is in the hand, just fold.
All right.
Yeah, Wes, just stay
a lot of talk this weekend, actually, because this poker game is getting out, and I had a lot of people at the awards be like, I know somebody, they're a shark, can they come play? And so it's in demand. It's in demand.
Bring the CSAs, man. Bring the CSA crew, man.
Yeah.
We should chant CSA when we see you, like how people chant USA at games.
No, don't do that.
CSA.
No, it's Canadian. It's Canadian.
Don't do that.
It's a different layer to it.
Well, when I woke up in the
State.
morning, my cat had thrown up a hairball right at the foot of the bed, so I was like, all right, that's real life.
Oh
That
yeah,
was a
yeah.
cool
I saw
weekend.
that. I saw that, man. Yeah, I saw that.
Were you there this morning,
Where,
Alex?
yo, what?
Yo, I saw that. I saw that. So, anyways, back to my question that I was forming 10 minutes ago. Because of the winning time betrayal,
Yes, sir.
Ennis, do you want to shoot out some ideas of movies we can watch where we can create content and do a pod about? Do you have any suggestions of movies you want to watch with us, and we can do a podcast?
Oh, that'd be wild. I mean, I would love to finish Winning Time, like legit. Like it's it's one of the best
me
sports
too.
docs I've ever seen.
Yeah, me too, man.
No, but
Should I just mic us all up while we watch the rest of it?
I'm down.
yeah, let's put
Separately?
live taping.
Separately?
Yeah. We just watch it from the beginning and be like, Will, did you like this part? What about this part, Will? Wasn't it great?
Okay,
This
I
would have been
think the
so great
exact
to watch
part
together.
The exact part I'm at is Reggie had like a slow first 3 quarters and then had like 25 in the fourth.
Not you telling us where you paused it.
We know history, Will. Damn.
I wasn't alive for that, guys. God, I mean, I was, but like, I was like in China.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't care.
Will really went pause.
No, I hit pause. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Any suggestions, Ennis, of?
Well, I like how you and I are kind of going back and forth watching like highlights from each other's favorite films. Like you showed me
because we're best friends.
You showed me because we're best friends. You showed me Infernal Affairs. I showed you what did we watch before that?
Clockers.
Clockers. We watched Clockers. A bunch of other stuff. Killing of a Chinese Bookie. Did we watch Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 together?
No, but we chatted during the whole thing.
Okay, but we talked right. We talked during the whole thing. But you know what's cool? We used to do a thing when I was in high school called Cinema Festival, where like if it was literally 4 of us, we would all put 2 suggestions into a bowl, and we would draw 2 movies and watch
That's
them.
how they got Patrick Ewing.
I was gonna say this guy got the frozen envelope going for the fucking Breakfast
Whoa,
Club.
Uncut Gems again?
Yeah.
What happened?
No, not Rush Hour 1. Wow, unbelievable.
Hey, I really like that idea though. I like that.
It's good, right? Because then you kind of like you agree. The other way we could do it is like when I have I used to do this on dates. I'd be like, you name 3 movies, I'll name 3 movies, and we each pick one from each other's list that we want to watch.
Oh, that's
you know what I mean.
That's
So
like one too.
I'm
then if
writing
enough
that
people
one down, man. I'm gonna write that one.
Yeah,
down.
that's a good one.
Chat
That's a good one.
asked, did Ennis put Alex on Mikey and Nikki? And yes, Ennis definitely.
I will say that I did. I mean, it was more Tom Henry, to be honest, because I got put on Mikey and Nikki, but from one of my oldest friends, Aaron Abrams, one of the stars and leads of
you
Children Who Wrote
tagging him in
Everything.
a clip again?
Yo, why
mean,
are
I
we in
gotta-
another PR answer, man?
No, but it's that I got to give respect to that because I know
no,
Tom
imagine-
put you on-
J.J. Abrams.
Imagine every time you ask us a question, you're like, my good friend Matt Devlin,
Yeah,
who is
and
a
the people
3-time
brave-
CSI winner.
Bro, that's like my oldest friend. Okay, don't be jealous. Chill out. He put me on that movie, and then I know I just kind of brought it up with Tom because he's a huge fan of it as well. And then I think he told you about it, right? And then you went and watched it. So, Will, it's a great movie. It's
Okay, yeah.
true toxic male friendship, but like mixed with like a crime noir kind of thing. Yeah, it's this is about like one dark night. There's like a guy who's like Cassavetes. He's in bad with a gangster, and Peter Falk, his best friend, has to come out and be like, they're gonna come kill you tonight. And then you start to find out more about it. Like that comes out in the first 10 minutes, but it's a great movie.
All right.
Shout out
Okay,
to
so
Elaine
let's do the Patrick Ewing thing, and we'll all pick 2 movies and put it in a bowl.
Yeah.
And then we will.
And you can't
Right now?
don't put the same movie twice. That's
No, right now.
Oh, okay.
No, Will.
Sorry, I just want to extend the pod, man. I
can
know people
tell.
click on
I
this.
don't
They're like, should the Raptors trade Scotty for Giannis? And now it's like Mikey and Nikki time.
Yo,
It's all
only
good,
one
guys.
show. Only
You guys
one show
understand?
can
Hour
bring you
1 is
through.
for basketball. Okay, Hour 1's for basketball.
This is the part where Will always starts apologizing.
No, I'm not apologizing. All right, what movies you want to put in this pod, bro? Come on.
We're not doing that right now.
Who said that, man?
But-
I'm against.
but-
I'm saying that's
But if I were gonna, I would put Speed,
Okay.
and I think I don't know what my second one would be, but Speed I would want to throw in there. I think Speed we could make a good podcast about. So
all right.
yeah.
Okay. Anybody else got one? That's good.
Are we doing this for the purposes of content?
Yes,
Because the
yes.
idea is we're going to talk about it, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
we're doing a reaction podcast to a movie. Yeah.
So it should be reasonably popular and reasonably recent. I honestly, I probably throw Inception in there, man. I fucking love Inception.
Oh, that's so
I know
long,
it's so
though,
popular,
man.
but man, come on. There's
I'm
a lot
actually
of good
gonna have to
discussion
take
about
notes and stuff.
You're gonna be like, yo, do you think Cobb's still dreaming?
Can we watch?
Is that his totem?
Can we watch a linear movie where the bus just doesn't stop?
The bus just makes it stops all the way. That's my favorite thing. There's all this stuff coming out about Heat, about like how Al Pacino's character was supposed to be on coke the whole time, but they cut all that stuff. So, so that explains his acting in the movie. But there's all these Reddit threads about like this character
he was on
coke,
and that's why that explains the acting. In
the actor, yeah. But there's so many like Reddit threads about that character would never do this and da. I always find that so funny that people are talking like they're still alive after the movie. But I'll do Heat. Why not? Let's watch Heat again.
Like that. Okay. Jerome, any
you got tossed
just because I'm going to watch the final of its series tonight, I'm going to go with John Woo's Mission Impossible 2.
It's crazy because Ennis and I
I'm in the middle of it right now.
Ennis and I were just talking. I've never watched any of the Mission Impossibles.
Me neither, I had to actually play in the background while I was setting up assets for the show today, but I didn't properly watch it. I'm very down to that.
That's a really good one too.
Is that your first time watching that one?
I saw it like way back in the day, but I just
it's crazy.
Got it. Yeah,
it's so wild. Like I'm a big fan of the franchise. Like thinking about just the mechanics and how
Here
it all
comes
got
another
made.
PR answer. Man.
Man, get out of here! Oh,
you're gonna shut up.
Which casting director are you shouting out, man?
I'm running out of batteries. Give me a second. Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna stop my camera, damn it.
Oh man,
I'm gonna recharge my shit. Just a sec.
Oh,
we can swear on here.
I thought he was doing.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man.
No, man, my battery was running out.
Well, we can still hear you, but
we back.
Yeah. Okay. So
welcome back.
Yeah. I mean, the John Woo's version of Mission Impossible is truly crazy. Like, it is like the Mission Impossible meets like The Killer, full stop. Like, there's doves in it and just a ton of slow mo stuff that's never in any of the other movies. It's wild.
It's because that was like the way this series worked for a while up until the last couple, where it was always a different director.
Yeah.
So like Brian De Palma was the first one, so it was more of a noir film. John Woo was like in this like hyper action HK type action film. The second, the third one's J.J. Abrams. So like think of it like a J.J. Abrams type action flick. Brad Bird does the fourth. And then I think the rest is Christopher McQuarrie for the.
They kind of like became a team. I think he might have worked on the fourth one, produced or wrote it or something like that. But it feels like it almost like the John Woo one kind of flopped, so they weren't going to do it anymore. But then J.J. Abrams resuscitated it, I guess, off the lost
kind of
success and all that.
Yeah, it really actually parallels the Fast and Furious series, like interestingly, like in that it like kind of finds its second life, and because it has its own reputation that when you look back at the original like ones, like the first 2 or 3, you're like, that seems like a real campy like parody of what the actual series became.
But that's the Palma too. He makes like noirs, and it's more like a spy movie, that first one. But this podcast is gonna be great when we start doing. When we've all seen the movie, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat said we should do David Lynch's entire filmography.
Okay, but we got to live recap it, like watch it at the time, and just a lot of like, what the hell was that?
Just staring off.
David Lynch overrated.
Spam Dunk 87. Oh man, don't start. You're gonna lose subscribe. I mean, I wonder what the overlap is of Hello and Welcome lovers and David
people
Lynch.
Watch movies,
that'd be interesting.
People were getting heavy on criticizing my letterbox and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
By the way,
yeah.
I am on your letterbox now, man. You gave Magnolia 2.5.
Yeah, rewatch that. Was not a fan. Yeah.
What's your review? Tom Cruise should play Batman.
Yo, stop reading my reviews online. I'm embarrassed. Yeah.
You want people to follow your account.
They're meant to be private. Follow me at Steven LeBron on Letterboxd.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy about Magnolia? That movie made so many movies, like influenced so many other movies that when you watch it now, it seems like out of date because it's been done so much since. Like the looking, talking in the camera. This is the part of the movie where all this like. But that's like P.T. Anderson like started that stuff. So they lived long enough to make him the villain there. Alex, damn.
I don't think I'm a big PTA fan. Although I'm gonna rewatch Punch Drunk Love this week though.
All right.
So
that's a good
that as well.
Damn, bro. You're prolific with the movies, man. That's like 2 a day for you.
Dog, I have no life. Yeah.
Alex, I thought you told me that when we were hanging out, you don't like to watch more than one movie at a time, and you had to go home.
So this is another thing.
I guess I'm judging just based on when you actually log the rating. So that's maybe it's not the day you watch.
No, I log it right after.
You're right after. Because some people will do a letterbox thing very similar to people doing like an aftergram. Like
right.
post it right away. Like, man, so if someone posts their story,
like a latergram, like you do it after.
Latergram, that's the word.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And so like if say like you're out for a meal or brunch with friends, but you don't want people necessarily know that you're there right now, you'll post it like later in the day or the next day after.
It's wild because it's like a new level of like
it's sending boundaries,
cultivating FOMO, because you're like, not only am I doing something cool, but I didn't even post about it till later. I'm not even there anymore.
That's like if I told you right now.
I'm like, man, how is it? Yeah.
That's like if I told you right now, I just watched Winning Time, but only the first half.
Yeah.
Reggie's got
exactly right in the moment.
Like, Reggie's got 22 right now.
Yeah. How did you split Winning Time into 4 quarters?
Oh my god.
We had halftime right now.
You split it like it was the last dance.
Yeah, so here's one more question as part of this male therapy session. So as Ennis brought up, like, so we'll get really excited talking about movies. And Ennis will be like, yeah, let's watch like 2 movies tonight, like if we get together and stuff. And my thing is like I only have social energy to watch 1 movie with someone. But if I'm alone, I can watch 2 straight movies. Yeah, is that okay? Yeah.
Wait, what's not okay about it? It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's just what you prefer. You know what I mean?
But we fought about it. Yeah.
Well, because you hurt me.
Oh man. So. Alex, how did it make you feel when
this isn't like necessarily male therapy as much as it's like a specific couples therapy that we're experiencing, and Will and I are just here.
You just cross. We have backup. We each have backup.
Yeah.
This is like watching my parents try to talk.
You know what's wild though? Like I really. Do you still go to movies in the theaters? Because I just went to see Friendship and Sinners and a couple other movies that were like you got to see them in the theater. Friendship's incredible, but like
I can't wait.
I see maybe 5% of the movies I see in a year are in the theaters. Like I never go anymore, and part of it is like you can watch 2 in a row. You know what I mean? And like curate your own little thing. And this pandemic did.
I feel like this summer though is like actually I feel like this summer is actually the year that it actually might come back to the theater. There are a lot of movies that seem really fun to watch in the theater.
Yeah. I haven't seen the new Mission Impossible yet too, but
I'm going tonight. Yeah,
nice. Are you gonna go to the one where they like shake your seat and spit in your face?
Oh yeah,
no,
the little
debug
or whatever.
All you rude names and stuff.
There's one where they spit in your face.
No, but there's a thing. There's like I went to see Twisters and immediately regretted it. Yeah, it hits you with rain. And at one point I was like, oh man, this smells like mold. Is that because they're in the dirt? And then I said that. I leaned over to my dad, who was also like, we shouldn't have done this. And then he's like, I don't smell the mold. So I think I was just getting like a funky back of the seat. Like, come on. I'm like, wow, this whole movie smells like cow shit. This is amazing.
Wait, is this called 4D? Is this 4D, the 4th dimension?
40X.
Yeah, the 4D is you smell the vague smell of cow shit.
This is stupid, okay? I'm sorry, man. Like, throw away fucking the movies with, like, the 3D glasses. First off, my head is too big, and I cannot put those glasses on my head.
Okay, that's why you hate it. 3D movies
It's an accessibility issue.
No, it's like you go watch Crazy Rich Asians, and when they make dumplings, it smells like dumplings in the theater.
Yeah, like
Will, you're right, though.
No, this is stupid.
They should make 3D monocles for people with heads as big as yours. So you can just hold them up like
I agree. I think I should just rip them off in the middle of
his goggles.
Yeah, exactly. You're just watching it like this with like opera glasses.
Yo,
no, but they have like
I hated
AVX.
watching Spy Kids back in the day, man.
You were a spy man.
You couldn't tell what was coming at you.
So no, okay. Number 1, get rid of all of those. Okay, let's just go to regular and 70mm. I'm fine with those 2 options. The other one's about shaking
IMAX,
your chair and shit.
The stuff that's shot.
IMAX is cool. IMAX is cool too. Yeah, but like all the little movement things, I'm good on it.
Yeah.
My question was, back in the day, did you guys ever like do the thing where you like sneak into a theater?
Of course, man. You double up on a Tuesday
or whatever.
No, but you just buy 1 movie and then just go to 2.
Not just stay behind, which is I think you could still reasonably do now. But like I know back in the day, I used to go to Rainbow Cinemas, and this is like in
you can get away with whatever at a Rainbow Cinema.
You could get away with whatever at Rainbow.
Yeah.
But there was like a back door that you can just like push open and hold in, and so one person can buy a ticket and you hold the door open, and the rest of your friends can come in.
Oh, like bringing your people in. Yeah, no, I never did that. I was truly like unjustifiably afraid of any authority when I was a teenager. So I would never do that. But then, like, I kind of, I had a friend, my buddy Colin Doyle, shouts to Colin Doyle. He used to work at an AMC, AMC 30, like the Kennedy Commons, and it was like we would go, and it was not even like against the rules. We could go watch movies, you know what I mean, and see stuff. Unless that's not true, and I just blew up his hustle from 30 years ago. But no, but then that gave me the confidence.
You're good.
Yeah, exactly. On cinema art theft. I got to the point where like I got comfortable doing that, so now I would just walk out of a movie and just see what was like as I'm walking, just see what's next, and just slide into the next one.
Yeah. Because I have my answer. What was the craziest back-to-back that you've done at a theater?
Ghost. Was it Ghost? What's the one with the Nicolas Cage with the flaming skull? Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider.
Oh, Ghost Rider. Oh, that one's horrible.
This was crazy.
That movie sucks.
Ghost Rider Norbit was the craziest double bill. You remember Norbit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
They both made like $40 million at the box office that week, like opening weekend. And my friend Aaron Abrams and I, one of the stars of Children and Everything, a multiple Canadian Screen Award winning program, he and I were like, we got to go see what's going on. And we just sat through 4 hours of just turds. It smelled like cow shit, and they weren't even doing that. You know what I mean?
It wasn't even 4D.
It wasn't even 4D, bro. It just smelled
Alex,
like
Will, do you have any?
I don't remember.
I don't actually remember doing a double movie. I feel like I'm like, all right, I need to do something else now. I've just sat down for 3 hours.
I remember watching Titanic like 4 times in the theaters.
What? I've never seen Titanic.
We
put that in the movie.
Just like going back.
I went with my parents. I think my grandparents.
That was the thing
at
the time, though. It was like such a big deal that people would like keep on going back over and over and be like, oh, you got to watch this movie.
It was like a phenomenon.
It was a phenomenon.
I mean, it was the biggest grossing movie of the time. I worked at a summer camp. I was head staff at a summer camp.
Shout out your summer camp.
He's
shouting out actual places.
Shouts to Linda Fishman and all the amazing staff at Baby Glen Day Camp. But I was head staff. It was the only year I had a job with any responsibility. And all the counselors were going to see it like weekly. And
You've never watched Titanic?
I've never seen it. I don't know how. It just was like
wait, ever?
I just heard about it every day.
You just missed the summer that like it was playing. Or
have you seen it after that?
Yeah.
No, I never saw it.
No spoilers, but do you know what sinks is like the like? Do you know how it ends? Yeah.
Alex, what the hell, man? I was gonna watch it tonight. This is a good bit. This is a good, strong bit we're doing.
This is a worse betrayal than me watching Winning Time. Right?
No, don't play that.
Sinking time.
Okay, so
put that on the list then.
In university, I was going out for movie with friends.
We're not watching Titanic together.
Right.
Well,
no,
it would be kind of cute to see you and Alex recreate the moment on
Let's just go to a boat party and have it do it. That'd be good.
Yeah, there you go.
Wherever you are.
I mean, if we take a boat across to the island or something, I will hold up Alex with my arms and we can lean into the lake there. That'd be fine. I'll do that.
I don't want to do that.
Alex might be a little heavier than you, man. You might
Yo, there's enough fat shaming.
No, I'm not even fat shaming, bro. Like,
he did eat a lot of rigatoni,
but like
he did eat a lot of
gnocchi.
Gnocchio.
Jerome, what is the doubleheader you want?
Okay. So back in university, going out with a group of friends to the theater at Yorkdale. They were split in which movies they wanted to watch. So to compromise, they said, we'll just watch both back to back.
Okay.
The first being Eurotrip, the teenage.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Followed by The Passion of the Christ.
No.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
This guy went from Jesus to Jesus Christ.
The Passion of the Christ, which we got too late because it was like probably opening weekend or the phenomenon was there. So I watched that movie. I watched Jim Caviezel get tortured for hours from the very front row.
Yo, does he?
Yeah. Oh, so you got to settle for the bad seats.
Yeah, just like staring up.
So
at
you felt Christ's burden, I bet, because you had like a sore neck from it.
I felt like I was carrying the
what's
cross
the 4DX
also.
version? You got to sit on a cross.
Yo,
God.
Does he get crucified at the end? Or?
Well, that's crazy.
You know what? His boat does sink. You're right.
Yeah. His boat sinks in that movie. Yeah, that's another one I had.
Yo, chill. I haven't finished the Bible. Yo, chill. I haven't finished the Bible yet, man. Chill.
Yeah. There was an iceberg. It was named Pontius Pilate.
Damn, good merger.
Yo, this is so fun, man.
Yeah, no,
anyone else?
No.
Is anybody asking questions? I'm not in the chat. Is anybody asking questions about the Canadian film industry?
We could go to our tangerine.
Oh yeah, you want to stick around for a little Q&A segment?
I want to hear your Giannis thoughts, man.
Oh,
right,
okay,
stick
yeah, I
around.
love you. This is amazing.
Sorry, it's not a Sportsnet studio. Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
You're projecting there, bro. I didn't say shit.
Oh my gosh. All right. And now it's time for the Tangerine Fan Inbox. Tangerine is the official bank of the Toronto Raptors, foundational partner of WNBA Canada and NBA Canada, and of course, they're not just fans of basketball, they're fans of basketball. They're fans of fans who are always feeling freaky like Will Liu. If you're hearing this, there's no doubting your commitment. Fans like you are at the heart of what makes this game great. So while we have Ennis here, Tangerine is turning the spotlight from the court to the stands and celebrating the way Raptors fans support their team, because this is how we fans. To learn more, visit tangerine.ca/basketball. We're going to go over some random comments from earlier in the show, starting off here to Alex's consistent following, I guess, now of the sport of soccer. Alex, ChatGPT prompts are getting stronger.
Yeah.
How did you know this much about soccer, bro? There's no way you watched the final.
Well, I'm interested to see now that Leicester City has been demoted.
There's no way that's how you pronounce that. There's no way.
From
I'm not even
Premier
sure how,
League.
but that.
If they can make it up from Serie A back up. So, yeah.
He's got that Worcester sauce on it.
Oh, Worcester's United.
No, you don't understand. 15 minutes before the program, Will's diligently prepping notes, Jerome's diligently putting together the assets. I am looking up just a couple of soccer things that I can bring to the table.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's actually
intro.
annoying me at this point that I don't see it coming.
Yeah. There's no way you knew who Desiree Doué
You
was.
started talking about it, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, so yeah, well, we'll see how long that bit goes for, but yeah, thanks everyone. Yeah.
If you give me Club World Cup updates between Inter Miami and Inter Milan, I would be pretty.
When is the next World Cup? Oh yeah, it's coming here, man.
It's like 2 weeks. Yeah, it's mostly played in America, I think.
It's gonna be in Ennis's backyard, not to dox him. Yeah.
Wait, is that BMO? Oh, whoa.
Are they playing at BMO?
Yo,
No,
chill,
one of you
bro,
are talking
chill,
about the
chill.
World Cup,
I live
the other is talking about
I
Club
live in
World
Cabbage
Cup.
Town, man. Chill.
Yo, man.
What are you doing? I came down from Orangeville for this, bro. Chill.
So
Ennis is too
Brunson
famous for you to
everyone
do
on
this,
the
man. Come on, dude.
Oh, I'm gonna
right,
get
let's
so
move away
many
from
texts from Ennis after. Oh,
God.
We can't cut out something from
Can you please edit out 228:35?
You can't just. Yeah, never mind.
All right.
Alex, I'm surprised you didn't prepare some Fenerbahce Galatasaray updates for me.
Is that what
the
I
show
ate at the
today.
CSAs? The
right,
Fibonacci sequence. Oh, sorry.
Next here, if Masai said "You are mine now" in reference to Precious Achua, what does he say to Giannis?
He says "You are mine now," but in Greek. Yeah.
All right.
What does that even sound like, man? Can you look it up? Now that you know how to
I
use Google.
I can't right now.
Can I say? Maybe he says it in Turkish. That's the closest we can get. I could.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, the Turks and Greeks famously get along, so go ahead.
I mean, let's not paint with that broad
Okay,
brush.
Doris Burke. Yeah.
This will be like, yo, let's ask the Japanese guy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Just
All right,
kidding,
forget it.
just
I'm not
kidding.
saying it. I'm not saying it.
No, say it.
Let's
say
say it
it,
in Turkish,
say
bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Şimdi benimsin. That's it. It's a very
That's
romantic.
kind of
language.
fire.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yo, Alice,
But I said it like
what
creepy.
would it be in Cantonese?
你係我㗎啦。
Yo,
That is actually it. Oh my god.
你是我的呢。
By the way, we were trying to
That's
say
hard,
if you,
too.
we were trying to say if you know in French last time.
yeah,
you
and
got
it's si tu say. Yeah.
that's dope.
So
You
I'm gonna,
actually weren't that far off, honestly.
I'm gonna post that from now on when I do. If you know, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like see. I'm just gonna leave. All right. What's next?
Up next, shout out to you, Alex, and your Criterion collection, Seven Samurai behind Alex.
Oh yeah, I do have a lot
Good
of
eye, man.
Criterions back here that I used to when I was into physical media, but now you just subscribe to the Criterion channel. It's pure chill. Yeah,
There you go.
Yo, should we put our pods on physical media, like on a thumb drive or something?
Yo, I mean, I wish we
floppy
did that
drive
because we
of
lost a
only
lot of
Panther
classic.
pods?
We
We should
lost a
just
lot
put
of
it on
classic
cassette
Sportsnet
tapes.
episodes, man.
Yeah.
I would love to
You
press
should
a CD
you should
of
put
our
it on
stuff.
put it on a special key like in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Oh,
Yo, spoilers,
not another
man.
sponsored post.
God.
Do you think Giannis will be good for bar burrito ads? That's definitely a Thanasis ad, I think, if we get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're giving them every ad in the city, man.
Thanasis is going to do GoDaddy. Like, he's going to do everything, man.
Yeah, GoDaddy, the Osmos ads, Bar
Staples.
Staples.
Yeah.
You know, like all these ads. Yeah, I don't know. And it's like,
Yeah.
where are you? Do you want Giannis? Like,
Of course.
New pod.
we haven't asked our guest.
Yo, this is like Memento. We're starting at the beginning again.
Hold on, I'm gonna walk back out.
Freaking out, man.
Yo, it's Tenet, man. At the end of the movie, I'm like, yo, we were already buds.
Start working backwards.
Yo, we were already friends, man.
All right, we can move on to the next. You do not have to answer that, Ennis.
No, hell yeah.
Oh, wait.
I'm curious about this. I'm curious about the trade package, but that's about it. Of course, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Give him whatever you want, man.
In the
though.
same spirit where we were asking what things could we see Giannis with that would add to the spiciness, obvious one, New York fries would be a great strategy.
Oh,
See
yeah.
what
New
that-
York fries. North of Brooklyn. Yeah, that's good.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, if Giannis posted a picture of himself at a Tim Hortons right now, like it'll literally break the internet in Canada.
Well, it's also funny. He should do it in one of the rare Tim Hortonses in America.
Oh yeah,
Just to
yeah.
really
I think you
mess
got to
with
go to
him.
like Buffalo or something, like upstate
Yeah.
New York. By the way, you know Tim
There was
Hortons
one
is
in
like
Atlanta, remember?
Oh
We
yeah,
drove
there's
by.
one in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons is like it's actually like a really big chain in China, but it's like treated as like a specialty place.
Yeah, that,
Like it's like a
Tim
treat to go to Tim.
Hortons.
I was in Tokyo when they opened
Was
the
that a
first.
Greek accent?
Oh my gosh. I was in Tokyo when they opened the first Taco Bell, and the lineup was like down the block across
Right.
streets. Like it was insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
He should
Wow,
show up at a
Alex-
Booster Juice. He's a big smoothie guy, right? He should just
Sure.
Oh,
And he
that's-
shows
yeah.
up like
that's
remember?
really
he like paparazzi walking out of a Booster Juice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, we
with the
should
Batista
Booster
brother?
Juice again. We need to get ahead of this. They should name a smoothie after Giannis right now.
Bro,
Yeah.
we would
Or he
literally
should go
do.
freak-
like really
the freak
inside
juice.
and
Yeah.
like just have him at
Oh, the
Nut
freak
Bar.
juice would be. Oh, that's actually great.
Just
branding.
walking out of other ship.
Yeah,
getting
nut bar,
bar.
nut
Yeah.
bar, baby.
Giannis Antetokounmpo pineapple.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Save that for Matt Devlin, man, please. Matt Devlin on the next year when Giannis goes in for a dunk. God, pineapple.
Hey, can I just say honestly that you've been responsible for that, like what is definitely one of the coolest moments of my life in making that all happen. So the fact that he actually said RJ kidding me on camera, that blew my
Multiple
mind.
times, man. That was his go-to
Yeah,
call for RJ. I'm not even kidding.
It's so funny. Like I work in TV, but the times where that happens, or like the first game Marc Gasol played for the Raps, they were in New York, and we were shooting Blind Spot, available now on Hulu. I think I don't know. And my boy Rob Brown,
Yo, last night was a Hulu, bro.
star of Finding Forrester. I know you're a big fan. Will
Yeah.
he and I went to that game, and we were like, let's
Love
splurge our
Forrest
tickets.
Whitaker.
We sat like 2 seats behind the bench, and they kept showing us behind Nick Nurse the whole night. And that was like, my friends were bugging out more about that
Oh,
than
hell yeah.
the Canadian TV series I work on, which I think is probably a scathing indictment of our industry. But yeah,
Wow.
that was the best. So thank you for making that happen.
There you
No,
go.
the courtside
That was
stuff
so
is
dope.
always cool. I remember like after I left Sportsnet, I went to LA to visit you. And then,
Oh, yeah, you guys
and then I
sat
told
second
Will
row.
you took me to the Clippers game, and
Yeah,
we were,
I
like,
saw you guys.
close. Yeah, And
You made me
then-
watch
was-
Clippers Pelicans, man. I was watching watching future Raptor Brandon Ingram, man.
And I remember people being like, "Yo, you guys left your seats a lot, man. Were you watching the game?"
I mean,
I did.
anyone-
I had the champions T-shirt on, right? I think I got Norm Powell's
did.
attention for like
You
a
did,
split
yeah.
second. He just went like, and then went back to the action.
That's the
It was
night
like
I
as long
bought-
as it was as long as your interview with Norm Powell.
I bought my. Oh, this guy knows hello, welcome, lore.
Damn.
No, that's the night I bought my Nick Batum jersey. So.
Nah, bonus
Yeah.
points if you know Alex's ex-wife's name. Okay, that's the latest Easter egg.
God, man.
I do not.
Yo, I did not
See?
consent to this, man. Yeah.
But thanks to
said it on
Blanche,
the
You shared
show
it on
last
the
week.
pod, Alex.
Yeah, my boy
I
John
missed that
messaged. I was like, "Yo, you called your ex-wife out, man." I'm like, "I did."
Let her name ring out like Wendy Williams.
Yo, chill, man.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
Alex, while you have been really steps ahead with the soccer commentary from Coco, Alex needs to work on his fishing commentary.
Oh yeah, so Ennis, we're trying to figure out what's that thing you throw in the what's the thing when you try to catch a fish?
Mr. Real,
You're
right?
the
It's a
reel.
reel?
Casting a reel.
Yeah.
Okay, you're
And you
casting.
got
a
the
reel.
bait. You cast your reel. Yeah. Cast your bait, I guess.
Yeah. Have you ever gone fishing? Do you like fishing, Ennis?
I mean, I used to go to YMCA summer camp, Camp Pinecrest, just north of Toronto.
Shouts to North Toronto, man. Yeah.
Shouts to my counselor, Dave. And we used to, I can't, I mean, fishing, I know it's supposed to be peaceful and stuff, but it feels stupid to me to do it.
Ooh.
I can't do it. I can't
Hot
get into I feel stupid doing it. Like I'm not doing it right. You know what I mean? There's tricks and stuff.
Yeah, Alex, a good friend of ours, Clement, actually loves fishing. Like he devotes entire days to this. He's invited us to go fishing with him.
Before I let the whole fishing audience, I feel like I don't get it. It's cool. I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying fishing.
Sexy Beast loves fishing too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It sounds like we're making a fishing trip together, man.
No, I never said that. Yeah.
Wait, come on, man.
All you do is say two friends like to go fishing.
You don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. to go fishing?
Oh,
did you guys ever go camping? Well, I know you love the Canadian outdoors.
Yeah,
we could go on a canoe trip, do some portaging.
Canoeing is probably my number one favorite thing to do.
Really?
I love canoeing, man.
Dude, I love to go. I haven't been on a canoe in so long.
Oh, let's go canoeing together.
Why don't we just
Alex, you can sit in the middle.
Why don't we just go to canoe and eat? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
God damn.
Yo, I deserve some sympathy laughs after getting put through that ex-wife.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
that was rough.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
All right.
Here you go.
There you go.
Jerome, I'm sorry. You have a tough job as it is. I'm sorry I'm making it harder today, bro.
What's
this is great.
Hey, no stupid questions here. What's portaging?
It's when you flip the canoe and you carry it over your shoulders from the seat, like the bars that form the seats. You put it up on you put it up on your thighs. Same time, 1, 2, 3. You put it up and you walk with it.
Yeah, it's like okay.
Why make life harder?
No, imagine
because you have to walk. How else are you going to take the canoe out when you have to walk on land for a while?
No, imagine you canoe through a lake and you want to canoe through to the next lake, but they don't connect.
Yeah,
call an Uber.
Carry it across.
There's no Ubers out there, man. What's a moose gonna show up? What's a polar bear doing at Algonquin Park?
Uber grass, Uber water, man.
Uber moose would be dope.
Uber nature would be kind of sick, but no, but seriously,
Uber nature.
You just have to take your canoe to the next river, man.
That's just Alex in a big forest.
Have you ever seen this? Have you ever been any I know you guys go to All-Star games and stuff. So one time I went to Sundance for a film.
Shout out to
we were at Slam Dance. We were at Slam Dance, the smaller one. It was this little movie I did called How to Plan an Orgy in a Small Town. You can get it on most streaming services.
I saw that.
Shouts to Jeremy Lalonde, our wonderful director. We got out the airport at Salt Lake City and they had Uber helicopter. Which I've never seen before or since, but you could call a helicopter and they drove you to a pad and picked you up from there.
I think you could do that in New York. I think if you go if you land at Newark or whatever, and then you need to get to Manhattan, or you could just literally call a helicopter. I'm pretty sure.
Just take the 2 train.
You taking a train?
Yo, man, what do I look like? An Atlanta rapper to say 2 trains?
2 trains. I want to say it was $350 or something, but that just is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know,
Uber chopper.
Yeah,
Uber chopped.
I prefer Uber moose. Just all 4 of us on the back of it.
Yeah. And then a canoe. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's towing the canoe, and Alex is sitting in it.
Let's just go eat a canoe, guys.
It was funnier the second time.
Yeah. Wow. Now that I understand it.
Question for Ennis, basketball question. Does Ennis have a number 1 Turkish NBA player of all time?
Love this question. I'll tell you, it's got to be Mehmet Okur because he was the.
Did your boys not get the memo?
Mehmet said, "Knock you out."
Yeah. He does not stay at the Intercontinental.
I mean, he was amazing, and I feel like he was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
As far as a stretch 4-5, he could shoot a bit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? On Utah, Detroit, he was and him and Turkoglu played in the league at the same time, and I loved Turkoglu until he became a Raptor. And then my dad and I went to a Raptors charity meet and greet event and tried to speak Turkish to him, and he could not have cared less. And I was like, "Oh, cool, I'm out on you."
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then he proved me right by smacking phones out of people's hands and stuff. And the Mehmet Okur, and I mean Alperen Şengün is unbelievable.
Oh,
I think he's going to be.
Oh yeah,
bro. His. I mean,
that's why you bet the Rockets to make the finals.
That's why I bet. That's why I made
that makes sense now. I was wondering why you were so high on the Rockets this whole time.
Yeah. Well, my cousin Baran lives in. My cousin Baran lives in Austin, but he used to live in Houston. The Rockets.
Shout out to your cousin.
Bonded over that. But Yeah, Okra was amazing. Also, I feel like if he had played in today's game, every time he hit a bucket, they could have played Cardi B going like, Okra.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
Yo, we got to get you an Okur jersey then.
Canoe and eat. Get it?
I already have a Shangoon jersey.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, yeah. We should all get one each,
I have
man.
a pinstripe Houston Rockets.
I'm going to get an Ursan Ilyasova.
Yeah, what, on AliExpress?
He looked like the more Asian side of Turkey.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Well, he's half a Czech, I want to say Yugoslavian or Czech or something like that. So there was that's his name's not really a Turkish name. Ilyasova was more of a
right.
Yeah. Slavic name.
I knew that.
All right. Last question here, just because fans were asking, and we mentioned it a couple times. Any last minute tickets for the live event? It was really sold out like hotcakes. Didn't know the brand was strong like that. I mean, you didn't need to catch us straight at the end of that part, but yes.
Yeah, he had a better case before he said that last bit.
Yeah. We don't at the moment have last minute tickets, but we're trying to figure out.
We're literally in negotiations right now.
We're trying to figure out what the situation. We just know we are, I think, hit at capacity for the event. We are told that there will probably be some sort of standing room, but we don't want to get ahead of it because we don't want people to get turned away. But we're trying to figure out that. Yeah. Thankfully, we have a couple of weeks until the event, but we'll get back to you.
Best thing you could do, no guarantees.
This is for the Bobby Webster event over at Holt Renfrew on June 14th.
Best thing you can do is shoot us an email, info@stephenlebron.com. Actually, wait, sorry.
Go ahead. info@stephenlebron.com is good.
I just defaulted. What's our actual email? info@hellowelcome.show.
Yeah, actually, reach us at info@hellowelcome.show.
Don't email Alex. Alex not going to respond. Okay.
Because otherwise you're going to force Alex to have to forward that email to us. So info@hellowelcome.show. Reach out to us over there. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do around it. But thank you to the fans that did actually sign up so quickly. That was crazy. I don't know about you guys. I sent the link to some friends to be like, "Hey, come check it out." And within hours or less, they were just like, "Yeah, I can't get in." It's
man, I had to slap Ennis on the guest list because it was sold out.
But it's actually asking if I could have a +3.
Oh my god! Actual answer is no, but you can have a +1.
That's the rudest shit I ever did in my life. Sorry, guys. I feel terrible.
No,
we love it.
Feeling good, loving yourself is beautiful, bro.
They smell like spoons. It's weird.
No, this is. So
I wouldn't know.
Wow, this isn't 4DX.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Wow, another episode that's approaching Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers.
Yeah, we're approaching director's cut length at this point. We used to be original.
This is the Snyder cut of Superman versus Batman.
Now we have to come up with 2 other episodes for the rest of the week.
Oh, we got content for days, man.
Yo, championship pod. We're gonna revisit
That's right.
Raptors, Bucks. Raptors making the finals. Game 6.
Oh, nice.
And then Friday we'll mess around, have a 6-pack, or maybe we'll do a live react to Game 1.
You never know. It could be a little interview.
Before I go, I just want to say Pacers in 7.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Yes, I got Pacers.
I'm not
6.
betting on it, but you're going Pacers in 6?
Why not? Zag.
Yo, did you know I only got 3 series wrong so far?
He bragged about it.
Is that true?
What's more impressive, 3 CSAs or only 3 series wrong?
Yeah. I mean, yours, that's way better.
You can only profit off of any of them. One last question before you go. What's Ennis's go-to Turkish restaurant in Toronto?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've introduced as many friends to it as possible. Anytime there's a house party or poker game, I try to get pide from Pizza Pide over on Pape and Gerard.
Yeah,
Pape.
Yeah.
Hey, Pape. Yeah, so I would love a little endorsement deal from them. And there's so many in Richmond Hill and just incredible grill spots, and the name doesn't ring a bell right now, but Pizza Pide, you can't do wrong.
Okay.
All right.
So good, man.
We'll sell Giannis on this too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll solve Greek-Turkish relations if he comes here.
Absolutely.
We'll fix the whole thing.
It'd be
I
like
don't even know what
the red, the blood crypt flag in unison.
Whoa.
What? Will's getting tired. Let's put him to bed.
No, that's good because their flag is blue and ours is red. That makes sense.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah. There you go.
But there is no beef.
No. Don't exit though. Don't
Only
exit.
in the pitas.
We're gonna end the show, but don't exit.
Yeah. All right. Well, Will, do you want to close this out?
Wow, guys, let us know if you want Giannis in Toronto. What you give up? I don't even know why I'm recapping this show, guys. Let us know if you've seen Winning Time, the 30 for 30 documentary. I've only seen the first half. Let us know Yeah, we just get some shouts to Ennis. Congratulations, 3-time and counting, by the way, man.
Shout out to Ennis.
What's the record? Who's got like the most? Like, what if you end up like Bill Russell or whatever? You just like end up showing on the pod with like.
This has been the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway.